Bling, bling. Bling, bling. Baby, there's nothing I can deny. Yeah, yeah. I can't think straight. I'm supposed to feel. What's good? That's what you get when you let your heart ring. Oh. That's what you get when you let your heart ring. Uh, what was the video you had about Catholic versus Ortho? Um, okay, I can look on my page real quick. Let's see. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Um, let me turn on TikTok real quick. I let's see. Oh, it's someone asked me why I'm not Eastern Orthodox. That's the name of the video. Dewan be putting out bangers? Yeah, bro. I be trying to tell y'all, bro. He be having the same arguments I do. That's how I know it's a banger. Zoom in. Focus. Alright, there we go. What's good? Make sure y'all hit that thumbs up too. Tap the screen. That's what you get when you let your heart win. Dang, you should participate in wait, hold on, that reminds me. Just going live whenever, yeah. You should have participated in Bible trivia on Eli's channel. They made Catholics look like we generally don't read the Bible. It's crazy. Make sure y'all tap the screen on TikTok. I don't know what them boys do be reading about. I don't know if Justin reading about for sure. They just be reading on scholastics, bro. They don't. I don't know if they really be reading like that. They trying to skip steps. Yeah, he was fumbling bad. they try and skip steps because the scholastics be giving all the answers, but like they don't realize that the scholastics, well, they do know, but the scholastics, bro, they be reading the Bible, all the church fathers and all that. So I try and do what they do. I be trying to read the scripture and all the church fathers and stuff. They try to get the shortcuts. All the answers. Make sure y'all tap the screen, hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Bah, bah, bah. An effort needs to be made to convince the Canettos that they're evangelists, not apologists. I mean, bro, that's the same thing, bro. Don't let folks tell you that's something different, bro. You gotta be able to defend the faith in order to be able to like teach people about it. That's why the order of preachers, they got all the answers for everything. Those Thomists, bro, they do both. You gotta know the faith in order to be able to proclaim it. Dang. You said you want me to do a review of Clifton Orthodox Muslim debate? I don't know. I think Eli gonna do it. You just got City of God by St. Augustine. Ain't no way you finna read that whole thing. Make sure y'all tap the screen because we got no viewers in here right now because y'all ain't tapping. Nah, that debate was pretty trash. I ain't gonna lie to you. They just don't. Did I watch it? I watched parts of it. And like, you know, they could just get they low key just Orthodox Muslim and it was just low key just throwing out stuff and just hoping it sticks. Just, you know, lying about stuff, bro. And just getting away with it. It was easy targets, low key. That's what he like to do, bro. He like to lie about stuff until somebody knows what they talking about. And then that boy cooked. Then that boy's cooked. Like, bro, like I'm telling y'all, it gets to a point where y'all start to realize, like, all right, there's like levels to this, like knowing the faith type junk. And it's kind of crazy because those jits, like, they only know to bring up those arguments because they low key be listening to people like me and Eli and Nick. And they be listening to us and they just pick off stuff that they know other Christians don't know or something like that. Or they see what's something that only me or somebody else would know because they know other people don't be studying like that. Make sure y'all tap the screen, bro. Hit that thumbs up too. Subscribe. Whatever y'all gotta do, we gotta get these numbers up. We ain't even got no guests yet. You've been deceived, my man, by the pagans. They took over the church and made a pagan idol out of Jesus, son. That's crazy because I can trace my beliefs all the way back to the apostles before these so-called pagans took over. They literally asked who died on the cross. Yeah. Yeah, I think IP's live right now. I ain't trying to watch that, though. They finna talk to brain dead people, bro. I gotta, like, activate my mind somehow. Yo, I'm reading the Compendium of Theology, but having trouble fully understanding. What do you recommend? It depends on which part, cause like the Compendium is low key supposed to be the easier one. So like reread it, read it again. Maybe put it into like Claude or something. Why is this junk not focusing on my face, bro? Maybe put it in the Claude or something and be like, yo, what you getting from this? Kind of see like what it is doing. That's what Eli be doing when he don't understand stuff. Me, I'll just look up definitions sometimes of words, or if I don't understand it, I'll skip it and then I'll come back later. Cause even though cause there's gonna be stuff you're not gonna understand, because you gotta understand when Aquinas and them people was writing, bro. They already had like their masters in like philosophy and all types of stuff. Like they had their doctorate level type junk. So you gotta understand that they was on a different level. So you have to have some sort of background knowledge. What's your first language? They might have it translated in whatever your first language is. You should look into that. You've already read the Apostolic Father and some of Aquinas? Brother, there's a lot of Apostolic Fathers. I doubt you read all of them boys, but if you think you on like a higher level, I would suggest starting to read some of the scholastics. Like more of Aquinas, Suarez, people like that. John of St. Thomas, Billowart, below. Who you got? France versus Morocco, of course, France. Like, that's not even a question. Uh, oh, you're talking about Clement, Ignatius, Polycarp, bro. Those are basics. Jordan, can I come up? I have questions about Catholicism. I was speaking with EOS. Yeah, you can come up. Y'all got questions? Come on. It's the what you put up? Yeah, bro. Those are the basics. You gotta start reading Basil, Saint Augustine on the Holy Trinity, a whole bunch of stuff. There's so much more. Clement and Ignatius, that's like those are small writings, bro. Baby, there is nothing I can deny. Which Bible is God Bible should I follow? You should follow the church. And they have approved translations. Yeah, read St. Augustine on the Holy Trinity. That's a good one. Also read St. Gregory Nazianzus, his theological orations. Baby, there is nothing I can deny. Hello?
Jordan, my brother, what's up, man?
What's good?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so all right, I was talking to some EOs yesterday, and I was trying to get some understanding, right, about what the true church is or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they're saying, oh yeah, we're the true church and all that. I was like, well, okay. I said, but I thought the Catholics were the true church because they're the ones who started everything, right? I mean, I could be confused about that. My lack of knowledge on that is like, it's my fault. I'm trying to learn more, but uh, they were saying that you guys are the ones that went away from what true orthodoxy is. So I was like, wait, the Catholics went away from the true orthodoxy, and that's why y'all split from the Catholics. So I don't know. Can you guys give me some more understanding of what they're talking about?
I mean, yeah, that's what they gonna say. That's the excuse. But
I don't know who to believe, bro. I'm trying to learn more about it. I was like, I don't know should I believe them or I'm gonna talk to Jordan when I get a chance. So
I mean, You gotta
I mean,
ask them you gotta ask them what exactly they split off from. Like they don't believe in like basic doctrines that the church held to
oh,
for 1,000 years. Like the filioque
this is what they
way.
said. They said that about the. Oh, am I cutting out? I think I'm cutting out. Hold on, let me go outside. Oh, I think they were saying something about the what's it called? The filioque and the papacy.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called? The papacy. They were saying that that's the reason why they split from y'all because they don't believe that that's like core doctrine, whatever that was in the beginning.
I mean, yeah, that's what they all say, but I know goddamn well they ain't studied the papacy because they wouldn't be saying that. A lot of people you're gonna
Yeah.
talk to, they're gonna be converts that like they joined it because of vibes type junk, mostly speaking. So you gotta kind of take what they say with a grain of salt. You gotta have them actually like provide like proof of that. Because a lot of times they're in
You
like
mad
a
at me, bro, for asking questions.
yeah. Well, you also gotta understand like a lot of the claims that they're gonna make is gonna say that something wasn't taught. So they automatically in like it just wasn't taught. They're like they can sit back now and then make you try and prove it, and then you just don't know anything, right? So
Right.
one of the people we can go to learn about the papacy is a dude named is one of their saints. His name is Saint Optatus. And in his book Against the Donatists, book 2, in section 2, he talks about what like the true church is, right? He has different marks of the church, different ways that you know what the true church is, because the Donatists were basically trying to they were trying to claim that they were the true church, this, that, and the third. And he's like, bro, there's certain marks you need to have in order to be a true church. So you can look up in this book Against the Donatists.
Okay. I'm looking for that. I'm gonna screenshot. Wait, what is this called?
Against the Donatists. It's gonna be book 2 specifically that you're gonna want to look at. And now here's one of the interesting things. He tells you, now this is one of their saints, so keep that in mind. So we approve that the Catholic Church is the church which is spread throughout the world. So first of all, they got to be spread throughout the world. All right. Ask yourself about Eastern Orthodox, bro. Like everybody knows they ain't spread throughout the world. They can say, yeah, we got churches all over the world, but brother, they are 80% Eastern Europeans, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna like they're just not universal in the term of universal. They're not diverse. They're like one of those soccer teams that you look at and it's like, yeah, bro, we're claiming to be like, we're claiming to be Sweden or something, and it's like 90%, black people, and everybody's like, well, I thought Sweden was mostly white type junk. You feel me? So it's kind of like reversed, right? So, but anyway, I don't know if that's true about Sweden. It's definitely true about other places, but like France, for instance, even though France has a lot of black
I
people.
got you.
Yeah,
No.
but you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So we have proved that the Catholic Church is that which is spread throughout the world, and I'll also talk about this spread throughout the world in a little bit. Hold on. We must now mention its adornments, or basically what makes it like shows that it is what it is, right? It is the Catholic Church. And see where it's 5 endowments, which you have said to be 6, against which the cathedra is the first. And since the second endowment, which is the Angelus, cannot be added unless the bishop is sat on the cathedra, we must see who was the first to sit on the cathedra. And the cathedra is just the chair of like power, right? And where he sat. If you do not know this, learn. If you do know, blush. Ignorance cannot be attributed to you. It follows that you know. So, for one who knows, to err is sin. Those who do not know may sometimes be pardoned. You cannot then deny that you do know that upon Peter first in the city of Rome was bestowed the episcopal cathedral, so the chair of the entire church, on which sat Peter, the head of all the apostles, for which reason he was called Cephas, because Cephas just means rock. He's a rock of the church.
They're from Acts, right?
No, Matthew chapter 16, upon this rock I'll establish my church.
I thought that was an Acts. Okay.
That in this one cathedra, unity should be preserved by all. So the entire church is supposed to have unity in the one chair of Peter in Rome. Lest the other apostles might claim each for himself separate cathedrals. meaning separate chairs, and then we have all these separate different, churches that aren't really in union together because they all have some authority figure that we can follow, we can follow Paul, like he's not going to tell us anything wrong, but we don't have that unity, right? So the unity was supposed to be established in Peter, the one chair of Rome. That is the one cathedra. Unity should be preserved by all, lest other apostles might claim each for himself separate cathedrals, so that he who should set up a second cathedra against the unique one, against Rome, would already be a schismatic and a sinner. Well then, on the one cathedra, which is the first of the endowments, Peter was the first to sit. So if you're not in line with Rome, you're automatically a schismatic and a sinner. That's what he said.
This is one of their saints.
Yeah, this is Saint Optatus, and you want me to pull up another one of their saints saying the same exact thing?
Yeah.
We can go to Jerome and his letter against or to Jovinius.
Wait, so how's this one of their saints if he's
Against.
saying that? I'm confused.
Yeah, I'm confused too. Just like I pull up they saints talking about the filioque and they saying,
Okay.
they could say he wrong, I guess. So so
Okay, that's crazy.
in Saint Jerome, another one of their saints, book 1 against Jovinius, one of the things that he also says, you go to, let me see. Schism.
Bro, like they were literally getting mad at me just for asking questions. That's why I didn't understand. That's why like it got pretty bad because if I'm just asking questions, like what you getting upset for? I don't get that. Like all I'm doing is just trying to figure out what's going on. Like
What were you asking
you
them?
know, I was just asking them questions about the Eastern Orthodox Church. You know, just like the question I asked you at first about the schism and why is Orthodoxy the true church? I was just trying to figure it out. Like I'm trying to figure out why is it institutionalized instead of being like the people? Why aren't I thought the people were the church? You know what I mean? Like us as believers, as a body of believers, that is the church. I didn't know it was institutionalized. And I was being serious. I wasn't trying to like attack them or nothing. I was just asking serious questions about it because I'm really trying to understand that part.
So I'll answer that too. 'Cause they probably didn't have an answer for that. So in Against Jovinius, book 126, it's Jerome. One of the things he says, if you type in occasion when you get to Jovinius, let's see, occasion. All right.
Are you streaming on YouTube right now too?
Yeah, so you'll be able to watch it
Okay.
again.
Okay, cool.
All right. But you say Matthew chapter 16, verse 18. The church was founded upon Peter, although elsewhere the same is attributed to all the apostles, and they all received the keys of the kingdom of heaven, and the strength of the church depends upon them all alike. Yet one of the 12 is chosen, so that when a head has been appointed, there be no occasion for schism. Right? So just the same thing, the same exact thing that Saint Optatus said, there's going to be no occasion for schism. Right? Now, there's going to be other church fathers that say things like, yo, you got to follow Rome, because if you don't, you're going to be falling off the boat. You're going to be cast into outer darkness type junk, right? Like St. Maximus talks about it in his Obscula Theologica et Polemica. And that's only going to be in like Greek, but if you want like it's going to be PG 913, it's going to be PG 91 section 137D through 139B. And one of the things that Maximus says, he says a lot, but I read like this whole thing, but I got it like here.
All right. To be fair to the EOs, Sister Mia was the only one that was actually giving straight answers without like being rude and being upset about it. You know Mia. She was pretty cool. It's pretty chill.
Yes, to the Son of Eternal Light, look toward the Most Holy Church of the Romans and its confession and faith, directing their gaze straight awaiting from it. The gleaming radiance of the doctrines of the fathers and of the saints, just as the divinely inspired and divinely established six holy synods have sincerely and most piously set forth, declaring most manifestly the symbol of faith. For from the beginning of the descent to us of God, having been made flesh of the word, all the churches of the Christians everywhere have acquired and hold as the only firm support and foundation, the greatest one there, as in no way being overcome, according to the same promise of the Savior by the gates of Hades. So he's saying that all the churches have to rely on Rome as the thing that's not going to fail.
And that's another one of their saints as well.
This is Saint Maximus. But possessing the keys of the Orthodox faith and confession in him, and opening to those who approach the piety and truth naturally, etc. So this is going to be in it's going to be in this section. You probably won't be able to find that in English, so it's going to have to get translated. But
yeah,
that's just another thing. Also, I mean, Ambrose says the same thing. He says in one of his commentaries on the Psalms, he says like, look, if you're not a part of Peter, then you're like basically not on the Ark of Noah. like you going
Jordan, man, that messes me up, bro, to hear him say stuff like that, dude. Like it really bothers me. And you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand why are they saying that? You know what I'm saying? Like, why does it have to be?
Because
how I want to phrase this question.
The reason why it has to be that is because God likes order, right? It would be dang near cruel if he had these specific things that we had to follow, right? We had no way of knowing how to follow it. We had no organizing body to know how to follow it. And he just left us to our own devices. Because, you know, there's plenty of people that just don't know a goddamn thing. They don't know the languages. They're not trained. They can't read. Like, he would be leading us to utter doom and destruction, right? So that's why it's supposed to be set up that we have something that we're supposed to follow. It's just for our safety, really. So that's why, like, we're supposed to have something that we could look at, like, okay, so how do we know who's wrong? Because the average, especially at that time, the average person is not going to be able to look through all the theology and look through the manuscripts and see what these church fathers saying, right? We got to think of how people were going to be for most of those centuries. They can't read. They don't have access to the libraries where they could look, oh yeah, St. Maximus said this, like, or oh, you know, St. Augustine said this. No, they have to have some way, some principle of looking at something or identifying what the church is. And like, oh, another thing
that makes sense.
And even like in catechisms that they used to have back in the day, one of the dudes, Saint Cyril of Jerusalem, another one of these saints, in his catechetical lectures, you know, where he's talking to catechumens, he basically tells them like what to do, like when you're trying to look for a church in, like, you know, a city that you go out into, right?
That's interesting.
And when he's talking about specifically the creed, let's see. All right. This is what he's talking about when he talks about something being Catholic. This is going to be in Catechetical Lecture 18. This is section 23. So basically saying it's called Catholic then because it extends all over the world from one end to the other earth to the other, and because it teaches universally and completely one in all the doctrines which ought to come to man's knowledge concerning things both visible and invisible, heavenly and earthly, and because it brings into subjugation to godliness the whole race of mankind, governors, everything, right? So all types of people, right? Now, one of the things that he says specifically is, how do we know, like, oh yeah, when we go out somewhere, right? Where do we know? What are we supposed to do? So in section, I think it's 26, if I'm not mistaken. All right, yeah. he's explaining the creed, right? And his catechetical lecture 18, section 26. And in one holy Catholic Church, that you may avoid their wretched meetings and ever abide with the holy Catholic Church in which you were regenerated. And if you ever are sojourning in cities, inquire not simply where the Lord's house is, for there are other sects of the profane also attempt to call their own dens houses of the Lord, nor merely where the church is, but where is the Catholic Church? For this is the peculiar name, right, of this holy
Which one is
church.
this?
This is Saint Cyril of Jerusalem in his catechetical lecture
That's
18.
crazy.
For this is the peculiar name of this holy church, the mother of us all, which is the spouse of our Lord Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of God. For it is also written, as Christ also loved the church, he gave himself, Ephesians, etc. And is the figure and copy of Jerusalem, which is above, which is free, and the mother of us all, etc., etc. So, he's basically telling us, like, yo, make sure you go to the Catholic Church, because that's the specific name of this church, right? And what the Catholics will argue is that, look, by divine decree, no matter what happens, somebody's going to split off and they're always going to have a different name than the Catholic Church, right? So when you go out into the streets and you walk up to a Coptic, you're gonna say, yo, are you guys Catholic? They're going to be like, nah, we're Coptic. You go to Eastern Orthodox, hey, are you guys Catholics? Heck no. We're EOs, right? They have to name themselves after like a certain region or like a certain this or certain that. Or if there are other people who are like heretics, they're like, oh yeah, we're Arians, right? Because they have to be able to distinguish themselves from the teachings of the actual church. So this is like, and there's plenty of other saints that say this stuff, but that's just for like that in particularly. There's going to be stuff
When was
for,
that?
huh?
When was that written? When was that written?
Saint Cyril of Jerusalem was in like the 400s, I think.
That's pretty early still, though.
Yeah.
Dang.
Actually, he was the 300s. My bad. Yeah, he was born in 313 and he died in 386. That's just like
I'm
the
pretty
basic
wrapping my
stuff.
head.
That ain't even like
Yeah.
the filioque stuff.
Yeah, I think I need to understand like before I even get to that, I got to understand like what the purpose of the fathers and like why how they established, this church after following the Bible, and that's the part I've been struggling with, like kind of figuring out how do they establish what they believe right now after reading the Bible, and then they come into this doctrine that we have now today that's called Catholics and EOs and all that kind of stuff. And that's kind of stuff that's kind of throwing me off because some of this stuff like I'm not really seeing in the Bible per se, which I understand, like, not everything was taught in the Bible. So I'm kind of wrapping my head around it and kind of getting an understanding. And I'm seeing the importance of the church fathers, but it's just still some stuff that is just very hard for me to kind of like, grasp. It's like, I talked to y'all last time, you and Abraham most about it. Like
Yeah, I
the
mean,
veneration and stuff.
just think of it the same way as like, what was the Old Testament? Like, how do I know what I was supposed to learn? They had priests. like,
Yeah.
like they had some sort of order. It wasn't every Israelite walking around with a freaking, a Torah scroll being like, oh yeah, this is what I think this is supposed to be. Like, God doesn't want it to be hard for us to be saved, right? He doesn't want us to all be our own theologians. He set up something so that we could get judged by that institution, so that we can know, have some sort of, moral certainty on what we're supposed to even be following in the first place. Because
Yeah.
it would just be irresponsible to let everybody go by themselves.
Absolutely. I agree. Yep. Well, okay. Now this is I got one more question. Well, I guess I'll phrase it like this because this is what really like kind of made the whole thing fall apart. Because one of the EOs told me this is literally what came out of his mouth, but he tried to change me once I challenged him on it. So I'm gonna see how you react to it and if I'm tripping or not. This dude literally said that um, my faith in Jesus Christ relies on the church fathers.
What does he mean by that?
Bro, I'm not sure what he meant, but it just didn't sound right to me. I was like, wait, my faith in Jesus Christ depends on whether I know the church fathers or not. Like, I don't know. I don't know exactly what he meant by it, but it just didn't sound right to me. Like, what do you think he meant by that? if he was going, if you were like listening to it and
Mm-hmm.
just not knowing the. Okay.
Because everything has a context. Even though something sounds weird at first, doesn't mean it's not true. I would assume
Oh,
if somebody said that, it would just be meaning that like the reason you have the Bible is because of church fathers and all this other stuff.
wait, hold on, Jordan. AJ in the comments, he said that's not what he said. AJ, what did he say? Because I definitely don't want to misrepresent what he said. I couldn't remember. What did he say? You said, buddy, on here lying. Can you tell me what he said, AJ? If I'm tripping, I'll say I'm tripping. Like, if he didn't say that, I will gladly retract what I just said and say I misquoted him.
Baby, there is nothing I can deny.
Because that's what sparked the whole thing. Because what he said, and then when I addressed it, then he backtracked. It was like, no, that's not exactly what I meant.
Oh,
But I was
who
like,
did I
what you
love?
said though. Yeah, Justin was there too.
Baby,
Justin.
there is
Justin's the
nothing.
one
bless
that
you.
Justin the one that was talking, bro. Ask Justin what he said.
Yeah, so basically he's talking about Logica. Logica said he was talking about Cliff and Stewart.
Right.
They had threw the church fathers under the bus. And so we were talking about that. And I think Conscious took what Logica was saying a little bit out of context, which is why Logica
Okay.
was trying to explain it to you.
What did he say though?
And he's saying that how Cliff and Stewart said that their faith doesn't rely on the church fathers in the early
No,
church.
no,
And
brother.
then
I said, what did Logical say that sparked the whole thing? He said my faith in Christ depends on the church father. That's what he said. Or did he not say that? Or am I tripping?
no, he was saying what Stewart and Cliff had said. He said that Stewart and Cliff said that their faith doesn't rely on the church father. And then you said yours does. And then he was like, all right, well, listen.
That's not how that
But
conversation went, bro. Why are you saying that, Justin? That's not how that conversation went. He literally
AJ,
said that, bro.
AJ,
I'm not making that up.
And like Jordan was saying, in what way? Because this is what I was trying to explain to you after, is like what we don't say that each church father is infallible in and of themselves, but I mean I think Jordan's Catholic though.
Yeah.
He would agree with the papacy. I would just but we both agree with the ecumenical councils. So like those are infallible.
Okay, but he said I was.
We agree
Buddy said I was
we
lying.
agree
I
that the
want to get.
church is infallible.
Hold on, bro. I want to get past this point about somebody saying I'm lying because I don't like being called a liar. I try my best to be as truthful as possible. So AJ said I
Conscious.
was lying, bro. Like
Conscious.
what did I lie about?
Because that's not he didn't say that his faith relies on the church fathers. That's not what he said, bro. He literally did not say that.
Okay,
He was, and then when he tried to explain it to you,
no, hold on, dude. No, you keep saying what he didn't say. I keep asking you, what did he say then? If you're saying that I'm
he
saying
was talking
I'm
about
misquoting
the
him.
foundation of the faith, bro,
Oh my
relies on
God,
the
I'm
church
not asking
fathers.
you that. I didn't ask you that. What did
are
he
you talking
actually
about?
say? What did he say?
I'm telling you what he said.
No, you're telling me what he meant. I'm talking about what actually words
is
he
there a
used.
is there a context to what the conversation was about?
Okay, Jordan, you see, I know you're
You
watching this,
see
bro.
what I mean? Because Jordan told you the same thing.
I ain't got nothing to do with this. I don't know what y'all doing right now.
No.
The whole point of the conversation. Listen, Conscious.
Nah,
the
bro.
whole point of the conversation was him addressing the debate, bro, with Cliff. Then
That's fine. That's fine.
So
Cliff and them seem to be causing a lot of struggles.
the whole thing is,
They got the evangelicals in shambles right now, bro.
Amen. That's what I like to hear.
They got slain.
yeah, but the whole thing, Conscious. I get what you're saying, bro, but the whole thing was taken
I
out
don't
of
think you
context,
do, bro. I don't think
I
you
do,
do,
bro.
Look,
I know exactly
let's
what you're
say,
saying.
okay, AJ, hold on 1 second. I'll let you speak. Just let me flush this out really quick. You can say that I'm taking it out of context, and then if I am, I will admit that. But what you're not doing is addressing what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that he said something in particular. I'm pointing out what he said in particular, the exact words that he used. And what you're doing is not addressing that. What you're saying is, well, he meant this. What he was saying was this. I'm saying, what words did he actually use?
Okay, so like I said, he said that, but then he clarified it.
Oh, okay, thank you. So he did say it.
But did he clarify it though?
Bro, but
Yes
it's
or
the
no?
thing, like the thing is that you're not getting, like, even when you said that in the beginning and Jordan said in what sense to
In what
you,
sense exactly?
like, because it's like
You're
there's
caught up on one word that he said even after he clarified himself.
it's not a black and white
Nobody
thing.
but nobody
He didn't say
believes,
one word. He
bro.
said a
Nobody
statement.
believes that the church father saves us, bro. Nobody.
He said he made a statement.
Nobody
First of
believes
all,
that, huh?
I said he made a statement. I mean,
And then
that's what he
he
said.
clarified his
bro.
statement and corrected
Yeah.
it, but you can't move past that.
No,
Who was y'all even talking to?
We're
It's
talking to
this dude.
Logica, bro.
I don't know if you know who Logica is.
Uh,
It's this. I mean, if you watch Dom, Logic will be up. Or Slim, Logic will be up with Slim sometimes on her panels.
I don't really be
The whole
watching them
point,
like
bro,
that.
is that it was a misunderstanding, bro. It's taken
Yeah,
out of context.
yeah.
It ain't
Because
even
like
nothing to like fight, argue about. The
there's a
what he
certain
said, bro, was
context in
taken out of
which
context, bro. Nobody believes that the church fathers save us. Like nobody believes that, bro.
yeah.
yeah,
So
but
he
like they
after
carry,
I
but they
addressed it,
carry the
then he
apostolic
changed it up.
deposit.
Yeah, but okay. So even if when you addressed it, he clarified himself. That should have been the end of it.
That's dude. That's fine. I said he changed it up. So to me, it felt he said what he meant, and then once I addressed it, then he tried to clean it up and try to say he was saying something else.
No, I was trying to
That's
tell
my
you what
point.
he meant, and then you got all mad that we were cutting you off,
Yeah, because I didn't want you speaking for another man. That's why I wanted the man
bro.
that said it to clean up his own actions.
It's not me speaking for another man, bro. If my bro say something, and I know what my bro means, but he said it in a quote unquote wrong way, I'm able to say, hey, this is what he meant, dog. It's not a big
Okay,
deal.
but no, I asked him. I was speaking to him directly, and then you just
I
All
know.
right. So you got any more You got any more questions, or y'all just gonna keep talking about a different line?
We good. We
I
good.
think
Honestly,
I
yeah,
think
I'm
I'm
Jordan
not
got
not.
some
trying to take
debate.
over
We
your
I
good.
think
battle, Jordan.
Jordan
I
got
know
No,
some
you
we
got
good.
debate
We
things
to
to do.
get
good.
into, guys.
All right.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
good, bro. We good.
yeah,
Yeah.
we good, bro. I'm gonna drop down. Peace.
All right. God bless.
Hey, find you a church, bro.
God bless you, bro.
God bless. So you got any more questions, conscious or not?
Yeah. So I think that was the last. Was it the last question I had? Yeah. I think I'll just go from here, and I'll go read what you put forth, and then if I have any more questions, I'll come back.
All right. God bless. What's good?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good. Make sure y'all tap the screen, hit that thumbs up. We need more people in here. What's good?
Yeah, I don't. Pretty much my claim is I don't think you need Christianity to be a good person.
What do you mean by good person?
Decent, someone who, I don't know, or to live a good life, rather. And which means, like, you're not being somebody who's doing wrong to people, gives back to the community, does good work.
So you think that we think that only Christians can give to the poor or something?
No, everybody can give to the poor, of course. I'm just saying you don't need to be Christian to be a good person.
I mean, like we have a different definition of what it means to be a good person. So
You want to define what it means to be a good person?
for us, it means to follow after God's laws. Because God is going to be the ultimate source of goodness, and we're supposed to follow after the way in which we are designed. Because it's going to be proper for our existence and beneficial for our existence. Therefore, it's going to be good.
Okay. Can that also include just, I don't know, giving back to the community and, I don't know, just being a good person? I don't know. I don't know if we can agree on what it means to be a good person or the same thing.
I mean, you can give to the poor. Like, nobody's saying you can't do that. I'm just saying to what end? Because every time you do an action, there's supposed to be some end in which you're supposed to be doing it towards. And if you want to be doing it towards the proper good, then you're going to need to be a Christian in order for your actions to be oriented towards God as well.
I don't think so. I mean, what if I just do it intrinsically, knowing that like it's just the
We
right
think
thing
that
to do
you
or
know
a
that
good
it's
thing to do.
We think that you know it's the right thing to do because you were designed by God. However, when you do actions, the actions in themselves aren't necessarily good or bad. Like they have to be ordered towards some end, and the ordering is going to be what declares it to be good or bad.
So I can't just do something without, like, I don't know, an action of mine has to be good, has to be like, it has to be judged all the time. Why can't I just do something just because it it feels like the good thing, the right thing to do, the righteous thing, virtuous, without like having it to be connected to God or any any God.
I mean, it's impossible for it to be not connected to God because God is the source of all goodness. And the
But
reason
I've
that
done
you
that all my
feel,
life.
yeah, because God created you. You're a human being.
I don't know. No, my mom and dad created me. Actually,
They did not create your soul like God did.
no. I think my soul is because of the experiences I've had and the people that
You
I've been
can't have
surrounded by, my
experiences if you
community.
don't have a soul in the first place to actually experience those experiences.
What's do you want to define what a soul means? What's a soul?
A soul is just going to be the animating principle of your body, and it's also going to be the home of your intellect.
Okay, I think my brain kind of holds my intellect, and the soul. I think I see. Yeah, I see what you mean about the soul. Um, but maybe that's more of a,
God damn.
I don't know, like a subjective kind of matter. I don't even know how to describe that, to be quite
I mean,
honest.
do you just not believe in God?
Yeah, I don't. I actually, yeah, I don't, and I don't think I need to live a really good life.
I mean, you're just wrong.
How am I wrong?
Well, one, you're wrong
You, so
because
you so you think so you think the things that I've experienced that have been great to me and the life that I've lived so far. I mean, granted, you don't know me, so that's that's fair. But I can't say I've had a good life by me and by other people just because I don't believe in God.
no, I'm not saying
So
that
should I
you
just
can't have a good life apart from God. Like, there's just, and also you could think that something's a good life and it's just actually destroying your soul. Like, if I lived in like a city where they just used to have orgies every Friday, like if I grew up a certain way, I might think like, oh yeah, this feels good, this is good, but it's actually like destroying my soul and my relationship with women and people. Like, so you don't really necessarily know everything that's going to be good for your soul. You're just only taking into account like, oh yeah, and everything just feels right, I guess.
but I think I do know what's good for my soul. Like just the way I've been living, the healthy ways and the healthy habits and the people I spend time
I
with.
don't think
Like
you know properly what health is.
I don't. I just need to talk to my doctor. I think they're pretty good at it. Do you think that's like not a good way of knowing what healthy means?
Not spiritual health. No, what the freak? They, bro, psychologists, bro. They just be experimenting on people, bro. And they like, you know what? Hey, let's throw everybody in a prison and then spray them with water. Let's see how they act. And maybe this is gonna give us some insights on how people are supposed to be or something. Like, bro, it's just they just experiment and they going with the flow. Like, some of the
You're
stuff
talking
it works,
about
some of
like
it doesn't.
I think that I mean that's kind of like an extreme example of like a concentration camp. Like that who does that?
Oh,
That's a
have you
concentration
studied? Have
camp.
you
That's
studied?
crazy.
Have you studied psychology or not?
Yeah, of course. Well, yeah, sorry. I have. And yeah, those were studies in the US. Those people were not like I mean, you're right. That's insane.
Yeah, that's how
I
they.
have
That's
no
literally, those are the ways in which they find out. Like, oh yeah, I think this is good, or oh yeah, I think this
I
is
mean, I don't
bad,
think
or
that's
this is how people
happening.
act.
I mean, some of the concentration camps that are happening right now are
That
I don't
wasn't
know
a
if they're actually
concentration
studying
camp.
people
That
in
was
that
like the
way.
Stanford prison experiments. Like,
By the US, which was like decades ago, but arguably, I mean, there's still some concentration camps now. Maybe you might agree, but I mean,
but
yeah,
why?
I'm,
Why
I'm
would that be
digressing.
wrong though?
What exactly would be wrong?
If you just put a bunch of kids in cages.
That's fucking terrible. That's absurd. How could you do that? Why would you do
You're just
that?
saying like, oh, why would you
Justify
do that,
justify
brother? There's people that
justify that.
there's people where you like have no idea what they're doing in their homes right now. Like, if you just scroll through TikTok, you're gonna see things that you're gonna be like, wow, I never expected somebody to do that. Like, we don't know, like, just saying like, oh yeah, like, oh my gosh, that's horrendous, why do you do it? That doesn't explain why it's bad. We're just sitting there looking like, hey, you know, to them it makes sense for them to do that.
Why do you think it makes sense for people to do that right now?
What?
Justify their actions.
Putting people in cages like that?
Why? Yeah, why would they do that? Why does it make sense for them to do that?
Because they don't like a certain type of people and they want them erased from their lives.
Yeah, we're onto something now. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're right. Why would they want that? You think are those people God following people?
Well, in your world, God doesn't exist. So it's like, it's irrelevant whether they are or not.
Well, not really, because they're possibly Christians and hypocritical, thinking that.
But if God don't exist, it's like, F it. Like, what's wrong with it? Like, we're really just floating in space for real, going Lord knows how fast, spiraling. Like, we just came from dust. Like, what are you talking? Like, there's no real reason as to why that would be wrong. We just may not like it. It just may be some evolutionary thing that just forced us to think that that's not cool. Even though it technically speaking wouldn't be wrong or right.
But it is wrong.
Why?
How could you say it's not? It's like neither.
The only reason I can say it's wrong is because we're made in the image of God and we're supposed to respect the images of God. Like,
I can respect you for believing that, but also on my end, in my worldview, it doesn't make sense if we're trying to live a good life to also kill other kids and detain them in cages because some people think that they shouldn't be here.
why does that
What
not?
good? Like what goodness? What does that? Like how is that okay?
Well, what's wrong with it?
What? You're saying that's insane, dude. That's insane.
What's wrong with it though? Why? From your view?
Not wrong with it. From my view, like if I want to,
If I say, yo, kids are annoying, put them in a chain, like put them in cages, like they're just annoying. Like, what's stopping that from being the case?
stopping what from being the case?
Like, kids are annoying, just put them
Maybe
in
good
cages.
people. Good people.
How you know what a good person is, bro? Back in the day, a good person was a dude that had plenty of slaves and was providing for his family because his slaves was putting so much goddamn cotton that they was, you know, their money was flowing out their pockets. That was that's a good man. That's a good man. Look at him taking care of his family.
According to who?
To the people at the time.
Who would say yes?
To the people at the time.
Who was holding slaves at the time?
A lot of people in the South. What are you talking about?
What kind of person in the South was holding a lot of slaves and thinking this was the way of life?
A human person? Like, what do you mean?
What kind of person was that?
Wait, what am I supposed to? What kind?
Literally the same thing. Yeah, what kind of person?
What do you mean kind?
God-fearing? Ethnically, racially? You wanna enlighten us? Maybe I'm gonna learn something new.
You think just because somebody was white that just all of a sudden just changes them somehow?
No, but is that true or is that not true? It was a white person. Right?
I'm wearing a gray shirt. That's the type of person I am.
I'm talking about race, my guy. I'm talking about your appearance.
I'm talking about my appearance. I'm wearing shorts right now. I'm wearing a shorts and a blue gray Under Armour shirt. That's the type of person I am. What is their color?
Area, my guy. Like,
how is that a category? You just said their appearance. What does them being white have to do with them?
Focus on race.
What does them being white have to do with anything, though?
So you're just not gonna even.
So a black person walks in a store with a gun. Like, what race are, like, what are we talking about? Just, oh, they're black, so they're gonna rob, or they're white, they're gonna have slave. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what about their skin makes them that?
What is this example even pointing to?
I'm trying to figure that out. That's what I'm trying to ask you. You just said, well, what type of person was that? What ethnicity? The freak does that have to do with anything?
It's just a fact, right? Like it was white people who
So we're pointing out random facts.
people. I mean, is that you brought up people who were getting enslaved, and I'm like, okay, well, who was that? White people who were also very Christian.
So do you not like? Do you not like?
Hearing people?
Do you not like Arabs either? Because they were putting black people in chains, or other black people who were putting black people in chains, or like, do you not like?
Am I saying that? Am I saying that, or what am I saying?
There was
My claim is Christian people were doing this.
atheist people were doing this. It doesn't make them any better. Like, what is the point of that, though? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Where was that?
What do you mean? Why does where have to do with it?
Again, still. Why does what? Say that again.
What does where have to do with it?
You want to show me where atheists were also enslaving people like that? Because I'm pretty sure people in the South were mostly Christian.
Well, you
It's
brought
like
up
black
something
people.
about camps, so I hope you know that those people were atheists, right? That did those things.
Do you think so?
I know
I'm
so.
willing to learn. Okay, want to show me like a source or something that it was atheist people, atheist researchers, psychologists who were doing that back.
I can look up 3 specific people, and each one of them is atheist, and they are in charge. They are the reason of many atrocities in the past 100 years.
Like who?
I don't even think I can say their names on this platform. They're so wicked.
Oh, of course you can. Got it. Of course you can.
One's from China, one's from the Soviet Union, and the other one's from Germany. Like it's not that hard to look up. Yes, for definitely. You can look them up.
Okay.
One is named after what happens to your car, you know, when you're driving stick and it like you can't really like get it into that first gear and you stall, you know. Have you studied history or not?
Yeah, man. Of course, I've studied history. I know. I think I know who you're talking about, but it doesn't really speak to how again Christians are. Well, I'm not even going to say. My claim is still not even saying that like, I'm not even saying Christians are bad or blah blah blah. I just don't even think you need to be a Christian. Again, let's roll it back to be a good person. You just don't. You don't need to. And maybe I'll grant this too. It's atheists for sure. Do I think all of them are great? They're probably not all great, you know. But I still don't think that I need God or Christianity to live a good life. And your definition of decent or of good, it just doesn't speak to. I mean, I just think it's a little bit like it kind of avoids. It doesn't like. I don't really grant that everything is for the end of like, I don't know, making God happy or what have you. I don't know how to put it. You can just be a good person without any end. Just intrinsically, your actions can be just
For no reason?
good. Yeah, like why does it all have to go back to God? Like
I don't even think it's possible to do an
doesn't- it
action for no reason.
say it again.
I don't even think it's possible to do an action for no reason.
I just went to go see my mom. Was that like a good thing, a bad thing? Like
You had a
I
reason
wanted
for
to go see
doing
my
that.
mom. So what?
You had a reason to do that.
And it was good for me because I got to see her and we had food together. We talked.
Yeah,
It wasn't because of God.
it was. It's literally the only reason you can do that is because he
No.
provides existence
it.
for you to
Prove
do.
it.
You want me to prove God exists? That's easy, bro. Like, I don't know if you're gonna understand the argument, but
Prove that like I did all of that, or say that again. Say that piece again.
the only reason that you're able to do any form of good is because it has some sort of existence, and that existence has to come from the existing one that is existence in and of itself, i.e. God.
So help me understand. I'm here because of God, you're saying.
Yes. God is the existing one. He's existence in and of itself. You can reason to that from the De Ente et Essentia argument, which has to do with the real distinction between essence and existence in contingent beings.
So is he here? Are you also saying he's here? He exists somewhere?
I mean, he's
He's around?
omnipresent.
Is he omniscient? Is he
Yes,
omnipotent?
he's all knowing, all powerful. Yeah, he has no limits. So
Why would he allow genocides to happen like the one in Palestine?
I mean, I can't tell you why he would let every single situation happen. I know in general why he allows certain things to happen. I mean, he can bring goods out of it.
What's your best bet as to why he would allow that?
I mean, he could allow stuff
Why he's
like that.
allowing it?
He could allow something like that for punishment, for mercy, for anything. Like he could grant those people, especially the kids that died, some sort of like he could grant them heaven if they were going to grow up Muslim and then turn away from the truth of Christ. He could be sparing them. Like there could be
So he's
any
sparing
number.
people?
Yeah, it could be any number of
How does
reasons.
that even? So people in Gaza have been spared just for living in Palestine. Kids, mostly children, have died. That's okay.
And children are,
You can sit. We can sit with that.
and children for the most part would be innocent. So
Yeah, right. Like they didn't do anything wrong. So the fuck? Why are they? Why are they fucking dying? Why are they
God
victims?
can grant them heaven if he so chooses.
Why wouldn't he though?
Well, when he what?
Shouldn't he?
Shouldn't he? No, he's
Why
not
would he not?
obligated.
They're kids, right?
He's not obligated to do anything.
But they didn't do anything wrong. They just lived in Palestine.
I never said they did anything wrong. It doesn't mean he's obligated all of a sudden to do
So what's stopping him from doing it?
that. Nothing's stopping him from doing it. He chooses what he wants
So,
based off of
so
whatever
they're in.
characteristics he does.
So, so, so some of these people are in heaven. All of them are in heaven. They should be
Why should they be?
because they were victims of the genocide. It's
Do
still
you think that we
ongoing.
deserve heaven?
What? I don't even know if I believe in heaven, man. I don't think there's anything after that. After death, after we die, there's nothing.
Well, we don't think that anybody
But
deserves heaven.
well, certainly people who are pretty shitty, I would agree, do not
We don't
deserve
think
it.
anybody really
I'll say
deserves
that much.
heaven.
That's kind of crazy. Like, why do we have to like? Are you saying that we just have to? Like, why are we so bad in the eye of God? Like that we have to do so much to just, I don't know,
There's
make
nothing
him
we can do.
happy.
There's one, we don't make him quote unquote happy. Like he doesn't change his like attitudes or anything. He's all loving. And there's nothing that we can do that makes us go to heaven or makes us worthy to go to heaven. He does it by his grace. Like we can't just be
So
so good that all of a sudden we're just like, yeah, like, oh yeah, I gotta give him heaven now.
it's like we're striving to, or people who believe in religion, like strive for something that they don't even know they're truly gonna get.
I mean, we have arguments for God's existence and why Christianity is true, so we would know with faith that we're gonna get it. So it's not like we just believe stuff for no
It's
reason.
but then yet people don't know, and you don't even know if people are in heaven or not.
I know
How do you
people are
know?
in heaven.
How do you know? You do?
Yes.
Who? Who's there?
Mary, the
Who's there
apostles,
now?
Mary, the apostles, Moses, the angels, Joseph.
Are the people who were like enslaving people in the Bible in heaven? The people who were beating people with the rods because they were fucking up?
I don't know.
Are they in the Bible? Are the people who like were slaughtered in the Bible, are they in heaven? The doers,
The
are
what?
they there?
Who are
Like
who are the doers? What are you talking about?
people people who were unaliving the Amalekites.
Some of them, yeah. Some of them would probably be
Some
in
of them
heaven.
are,
Yeah. Some of them probably
and
would
the
be.
others probably not, right?
If they didn't follow the law, like
What's the law? What was the law then? Like the
Mm,
Bible, right? I'm
the
assuming.
Mosaic law, yeah. You know, we don't know exactly who's in heaven except for the saints. Like we know about the saints, but
But
everybody
you
else,
just you just said you like named several.
yeah, because we know that they are saints.
And yet they also could have done really shitty things. Like how do we know they were
A lot of them
so
did
good
do very
for
bad
heaven?
things. Like one of them was
That's
a serial
the crazy
unaliver.
part. Sorry.
One of them was a
That's the
serial
crazy part.
unaliver
But homeboy is in heaven, apparently.
because he repented and changed his ways. So
So
yeah,
you can kill and then still go to heaven. That's insane. That's insane.
that shows the mercy of God.
can't.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I can't, dude. I All right, man. This is fun. GG's.
Hey, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up on YT. Is she
Yo, hello?
What's up?
Dang, bro, I wanted to talk to that other guy, bro. He's not getting what he's saying. I wanted to debate with the other guy, but damn, he just left.
Okay. Appreciate you for the $2.
Yo, I just have a quick question. To what something that you said, right? I just want clarification. So when you said that, God's not obligated to put like, like somebody who wasn't committed sin, like a baby, he's not obligated to bring them to heaven. But wouldn't you say that God's obligated to be true to his nature, though?
Yeah. Why is it nothing about us affects his nature?
But wouldn't you say that sending somebody to hell who never did anything wrong, because if God created hell for disobedient angels, wouldn't that be unjust punishment to send a baby there who didn't like do any personal sin?
You wouldn't necessarily say it's even hell.
Oh, okay.
Because it's just not heaven.
Oh, so you would hold to like a toll house or like the other thing, purgatory or something?
Or not, it wouldn't even be purgatory, because basically saying they would just have like just not the experience of the beatific vision, because they didn't do anything that was deserving of the beatific vision.
Yeah. No, that's a good way around it. Thanks, man. I'm gonna drop.
All right. Kelly, what's good?
Oh, wait, is that me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. I have a question about an argument that I had a oneness person bring to me the other day. And I was just wondering if you could give me some like help and explanation on it.
All right.
Okay, so we began talking about Jesus' divinity and stuff like that, and what he brought up was I'm trying to see if I can find it quickly. So he brought up a verse in
Make sure y'all tap the screen, hit the thumbs up.
Okay, so we initially started talking about the angel of the Lord, and the angel of the Lord in Exodus being identified as God, the burning bush, and so on and so forth. You kind of the where I'm going with that part, where the angel of the Lord is identified as God, not only in I believe it's Exodus, but in other places as well, right? And what he said to me was um, in Acts 7 when it talks about the angel that was speaking with Moses, right?
Hmm.
And he says that in Acts 7, the angel listed there is plural, where and it I guess it relates to Exodus 24, where Jehovah says, Jehovah says to Moses, "Come unto me on the mountain and wait there, that I may give you the tablets of stone, which with the law and the commandment which I have written for the instruction." And in Acts 7:53, it says the angels. Let me see if I can pull that out quickly. 7 verse 53, where it says, "You have received the law. You have received the law that was given through angels, but have not obeyed it." And essentially, he was trying to say that angels represent Yahweh in the way of agency, which I don't believe in personally, but I didn't necessarily have an argument for against why that wouldn't make sense.
I mean, at least for Catholics, you can hold to both interpretations that the angel was representing Yahweh. And that basically what was being seen is what's called a created effect, and they understood that it was supposed to be something that symbolized God. So you could hold to that being the case. I think Augustine holds to it like that, or you could just hold to what like people like I think Gregory Nyssa and like other church fathers like Saint Athanasius, and they hold to that was supposed to represent the person of Jesus, and it wasn't an angel, but it was a representation of Christ. I think Irenaeus also talks about that. But which verse are you talking about specifically? You're talking about where it was given by angels and stuff?
Okay, so the first verse that I mentioned to him he brought up to me was Exodus chapter 30 verse no X sorry Exodus. Oh my gosh, it was a intense back and forth, so I'm trying to swipe through the messages to find it.
What did it say? And maybe I know it.
Yeah, okay, Exodus 30 verse 18.
Okay.
And he gave to Moses, when he had finished speaking with him on Mount Sinai, the 2 tablets of the testimony, tablets of stone written with the finger of God. And then he went back to Exodus 30 verse 24 after that. Well, I'll wait for this.
You said Exodus 30 verse what? 18?
31 verse 18.
Oh, let me go to the next chapter.
And I appreciate you going through this, because I was arguing with this nigga back and forth till like almost midnight, and I'm just like, bro, what you're saying doesn't make sense, but I'm having a hard time refuting this in like a logical sense that
Written with the finger of God. Okay, now what?
Yeah. So now he went to Exodus 24 verse 12.
The Lord said to Moses, "Come up to me on the mountain and be there, and I will give you tablets of stone and the law and commandments which I have written, that you may teach." So what were we supposed to get from this?
So what he was trying to cross-reference was that in Exodus it says that God gave Moses the tablets written with his own hand. Yet in Acts 7 verse 53, when I believe that's the Stephen when he's being stoned. Yes, Stephen speaks to the Sanhedrin before he was stoned. In verse 53, I mean, probably the best place to start is like from 51 to 53. But 53 is the biggest part, where it says, you have received the law that was given through the angels, but have not obeyed it.
Well, I don't know why he went to Exodus. Because Exodus is going to prove your point. Because Exodus 24, the Lord is speaking, but he said, come up to me. Well, really, if you read this in Hebrew, I'm pretty sure it says, like, go up. I think the word is going to be al. Hold on, let me look it up real quick. So for Exodus 24, 12. Oops. It's one of those. Yeah. So the word is gonna be Allah or Allah, which is gonna be to go up or to come up or just arise, right?
Mhm.
So God is already there speaking to him, but he's saying go up to God. So that's gonna be an issue. That's just gonna show God is more than one person. Because it just means like arise, go up, to ascend. It just means ascend to God, but God, I thought you were talking to me right now. So what the freak are we like? What's going on here? So I don't know why he went to this one specifically, because that doesn't actually prove what he's trying to prove.
Yeah. So he also brought up two more verses, and then he brought up Zephaniah. I think it was either Zephaniah or Zechariah, where so I'll give you the two other verses that he brought up, which was Galatians 3 verse 19 and Hebrews 2 verse 2.
But what about those? Like, you're just talking about the angels, right?
Yeah, where he says why the law was placed. So in Galatians it says why did the law.
If I were you, I would read what Saint Augustine says on this, because he talks about it like sometimes it's gonna be. He has a view where sometimes it's gonna be angels and sometimes it's gonna be Christ or one of the persons of the Trinity. Well, mainly it's gonna be Christ actually, but and he'll say that the context clues will give you an idea of who it's supposed to be. And he mentions that in On the Holy Trinity. Dang, which part? It's in one of the earlier books. It might be book 2. If it's not book 1, it's book 2.
Mm-hmm. While you're pulling that up, can I just tell you one more thing that he said, and then it kind of goes with it. So he mentioned in Zechariah chapter 1 and 2 where the angel comes to Zechariah, I believe it is, and then another angel comes to tell the angel of Jehovah, basically the word from Jehovah. And I was telling him that you have to prove to me that the angel in Zechariah is the exact same angel that's being talked about in Exodus.
Yeah, I don't really know his argument. Like, I could probably make his argument better than he can, but because he's bringing up bull crap right now. Like, it has nothing to do with anything. So like, if you read book 2, he talks about this a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 12, the appearance in the bush.
This is of the Holy Trinity?
Yeah, on the Holy Trinity. This is St. Augustine. You could also read other church fathers on what they say on that specifically and come to an idea, because like there's different views on that can be held. His argument is just bad, but because I don't know what he's trying to put together. He's just bringing up times where there's more than one person, and that doesn't necessarily prove his point. actually Augustine's probably going to make his point better, so you could read that and see what his answers to that are.
Because he was just saying that like Jehovah, that Jesus is Jehovah in the functional sense, which I don't believe in at all. I believe in Jehovah.
There's other ways to prove that Jesus is God based off of like the acts that he does. Based off of it literally saying that he's God.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying to him. I was like, he literally identifies himself in Exodus as God. So any other places where angels are mentioned or anything like that, they don't identify themselves as God. They say, you know, thus says the Lord, or I'm coming with a message from the Lord, or even in Zechariah, it says there's an angel talking to him. The angel asks God, you know, how long will this happen? And then another angel comes and answers him and brings him the information. And at no point in time does the angel claim to be God. But in Exodus, he claims to be God.
Yeah. And also, if you want other explanations on that, there's a dude named Lapide that you can read. And he goes through a whole bunch of different church fathers that talks about that as well. And also I think that in St. Athanasius' Discourse Against the Arians, he talks about it as well. So it could be that both are the case, that sometimes it is actually Jesus and then sometimes it's an angel. So it depends on the context. So it's just like, I don't know if that's going to be your strongest argument for that. I think you have a strong argument for that actually being Jesus in Exodus 2 and different things like that. For sure.
Okay, for sure. Yeah, I'm gonna do some reading on that. I have just one more question. So I was in a Muslim live and he mentioned that, okay, so he was trying to say that the term father was abrogated. He went to John and he was saying, hey, that in John it says my father and your father, my God and your God. And then he went over to Isaiah 56 verse 5, and he tried to say, and I'll read it for you, and this was like the craziest argument I've ever heard. So Isaiah 56 verse 5 says, I will give in my house and within my walls a monument and a name better than sons and daughters. I will give them an everlasting name that shall not be cut off. And his argument was that by God saying this, he was saying that he was getting rid of father because it was a name better than sons and daughters. And I asked him, where in the text does it say that? And I've never had anybody bring up this text, but it just didn't make sense to me. Like,
bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. They don't, a lot of what you'll know about heretics and people who aren't Christian, they're gonna bring up like arguments that don't make no goddamn sense. Like, bro, it just doesn't have anything to do with anything.
Yeah. My argument back to him, where in the verse does it say that when he gives them a better name, that it's getting rid of father? And he was like, no, just read the verse. That's what it says. I said, no, read the verse and tell me where it says that.
I don't know, bro. They don't bring up logical arguments, so you can't think too hard about some of them. It's just nothing to think about.
I got you. I appreciate your time. I'm gonna read up on the Holy Trinity and what was you said Lapide?
Yeah, so it's Lapide, Cornelius A. Lapide, and then he has a commentary on Acts, and you can read about the angels and different things like that, and also about the burning bush. It's just gonna be lapide.org.
Okay.
And you can look at, he kind of summarizes a lot of the church fathers, so that's a good source to go to.
Okay. I'm gonna definitely read up on this, and I'm good. But yeah, I just literally the craziest arguments and evidence I've ever heard, and I was just sitting there like, how did you pull this from this?
I don't know, bro. They just make us stuff. But appreciate you for coming up.
Oh, I appreciate you too.
All right. Red, what's good?
What's going on, man?
Man. Make sure y'all tap the screen, hit the thumbs up.
Am I supposed to be trying to convince you not to be Christian?
I mean, did you have a question or something?
Yeah, man. I do got a question. What defines a Christian?
They're baptized in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit. That's just for the general sense. And then also, you want to get further, like in the fullest sense, it's going to be somebody who's like Catholic.
So that defines you as a Christian.
Yeah, you can look at the beliefs and then see what you're supposed to believe.
So what do you believe?
Jesus is God. I believe in the Trinity. I believe in one God, the Father Almighty, creator of heaven and earth, and one Lord Jesus Christ, his only Son. Etc., etc., etc.
Hey, man, you sound real excited for you to really believing in God. You know, that's excitement, you know. How do you think that's gonna work out for you?
One.
Huh? I'm just asking a question, man.
I don't know how is what gonna work out.
Are you like that when you go to a concert?
I'm like this all the time.
For real, bro? Because I watched your show a lot, and you ain't like that. Because when you was talking to the guy that was did prison time, you and Elijah, y'all guys won't acting like that.
Maybe it's because I had a nap before.
Oh, for real? You ain't had a nap, bro? Sorry to hear that, man. Might better man up and suck it up.
I don't really suck up things, but if that's what you do, I guess.
You said that's what I would do?
I don't know. I said that's what you do. I don't do that.
I don't know, bro. See, that's why I know you ain't a Christian, because you like to debate and you like to keep confusion.
I mean, Paul said that we debate and cast down bad arguments.
So who is Paul? Who is Paul?
An apostle.
Just a figure in the Bible?
He's an apostle.
That's it. He's human just like you. He died.
You want me to describe every single thing about every single thing? Like you just giving random stuff. Just ask me questions. Like,
Well, that's what you asked me to do all ago. You want to rewind your video and rewatch it and hear what you said? Because you said ask me questions, correct?
it wasn't about you asking questions. It's about the content of your questions. Like they're just vague.
Who's vague is you? That's who's vague. Even the way you answering the questions, you're vague.
Well, who are you?
I'm your worst nightmare.
You didn't give me your social security number. I need more details. Like,
why would I give you my social security number? That just sounds like an idiot move on the internet.
I mean, you sound like you might be an idiot. I'm not gonna lie. So maybe you would have did that. So
see what I mean? How do you even say that you're a Christian and you doing that right there?
Doing what?
Confusion.
What confusion?
Going back and forth with somebody. Like making up stuff.
Wait, what
You've been trained well. You've been trained well, ain't you?
I don't even know what you're talking about, bro.
I know what I'm talking about. I know that you've been trained well. That you guys get on this internet and you debate people for a reaction because you like that.
I'm your worst nightmare, buddy.
Yeah. I could be.
This is what I hear when you say that. I'm your worst nightmare.
Well, that's awesome then, man. Because you know what you really sound like? You sound like a child. That's what you sound like on the internet.
Mm.
You, Elijah, all y'all guys, y'all really just the synagogue of Satan. Y'all really just get up here to do that. You really ain't in love with God's word, are you?
You want to tell me, since you seem to know it all?
I watch your videos.
Nah, thank you. Thank you for giving me the views.
Yeah, man. I decided I needed to watch these fake Christians online because if you claiming that you Christian, that means you guys accept everything. You accept gay pastors. You accept a lot of stuff. There are gay pastors in the Christian church. Yeah.
There's a lot of sinners in the church. It's not like we perfect.
I'd rather be a sinner than to be a Christian. At least I know I still got a chance.
I don't even know what that means. You want to explain that?
Yeah. God said he was married to the backslider.
Well, what's worse than being a sinner?
You said what's worse than being a sinner?
Mm-hmm.
Claiming that you are not one and you are.
When did Christians claim they're not sinners?
There's a lot of Christians that claim they're not sinners.
That's definitely heresy, but
a lot of stuff is heresy. Don't you think that debating guys online about Muslims?
About what? It cut off. Hello. This junk just cut off. About me. Make sure y'all tap the screen, hit the thumbs up. Ah, man. He's gone, bro. Oh no. My worst nightmare is gone. Thank God. Dreams and nightmares. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished? When I about that, that's in my head. Y'all thought it was ready? Make sure y'all tap the screen. Hit the thumbs up. Why don't I debate? I don't know, Brad just said I don't debate, so I guess I gotta listen to him now. Oh, well, no, he said I just do nothing but debate. Yeah, because I definitely debating, bro. But asking random questions. Who is Paul? He died just like you. Wow. Did not know that Paul died. That is news to me. Earth-shattering. Groundbreaking. This is wow. People just asking stuff, bro. Like, oh, he's back. Oh, no. It's John cut off. We're just asking random questions. Oh, what's a Christian? Asking the most generic question you want me to answer with like a 10-minute long speech. Is your name Body or Booty? Body Ali. We just got folks just sitting here, bro. Nobody wants to come up. I can't see your name. Don't make fun of people who can't read, bro. Muhammad couldn't read either. Where the collab streams at? I don't know, bro. Ask them. Body yaddy 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 yaddy. We ain't got no guests, bro. Y'all stop tapping the screen, bro. Y'all just think this stuff just come free, bro. Y'all just wait until I go to sleep, bro. This is crazy. Y'all really just don't tap the screen, no, bro. Huh?
Yep.
What's up?
What's up? What's up?
Give me so the prophet is giving me a good reason not to be a Christian.
Yeah.
Um, I think it could. I think. Well, I don't see anything wrong with being Christian inherently, right? So I wouldn't say that, but I do think it allows if you. It depends on what type of Christian you are. It's not Christianity itself, but if you're like a biblical literalist or something, I think that's harmful because you're denying science. So I feel like it just depends on what type of Christian you are.
Say Catholic.
So do you believe in like Adam and Eve, Noah's Ark, and things like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a good reason not to believe that is because the cosmogony is demonstrably false. So we would know that the lineages that proceed from the cosmogony are also not real.
What do you mean by that?
So the cosmogony would be the creation myth or the origin story. Like every religion has their own cosmogony. Shinto has its own cosmology, right? Zoroastrianism has its own cosmogony.
I get that, but what do you mean that it's fake?
So if Adam and Eve never existed, the ancestors of Adam and Eve also did not exist.
Adam and Eve existed.
Cosmogony just means creation myth or creation story.
So you gonna
or beginning story, whatever you call it.
You gonna prove how Adam and Eve didn't exist?
Anthropology of the genus Homo. So we can go from Australopithecus afarensis to the Australopithecus africanus and up to the Homo species into the Homo heidelbergensis, Homo naledi, and Homo antecessor into the Homo sapiens.
And you're just assuming that that's how it went, right?
No. An assumption would be something that's not based off of demonstrably proven evidence. What I'm doing is showing you the demonstrably proven evidence through experimentation and scientific method that we know for a fact this is how this happened.
We don't know that for a fact.
Yes, well, you don't know. You don't say we. You don't.
No, you don't know that for a fact.
Most people who have studied it,
they assume that that's the case.
Is. What is speciation?
You want to tell me?
So basically, the Australopithecus afarensis, which is the first bipedal hominidized species. So first monkey-like species to walk on two legs, right? What we did is we hypothesized that there will be another transitional species further into Central Africa, that if we dig the certain amount of layers, we will find that species.
Can you prove that it was a transitional species?
Yes, because the species that was the Australopithecus africanus, which
no, but can you prove that it was a transitional species?
Yes, because we have the lineage. It's in our DNA. Look at the genetic markers. What I'm saying is, they went there and they dig there and they found the species they hypothesized would be.
Yeah, but can you prove that it's a transition species and we don't just all have the same type of DNA because we're made by the same hypothesis? Wow, it matched the hypothesis.
That's how science works. You make a hypothesis and you test it, and their hypothesis was correct. Yes.
So just because something matches a hypothesis, that means it's true?
Yes, if you can test a hypothesis and get reproducible results, and it's confirmed reproducible, that's how science works. Yes.
But how do you know it's a transition species? That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because of the archaeological and phenotypical and genotypical record.
Because it looks like one, or
genetically it matches the hypothesized route.
It matches your hypothesis.
We saw them migrate on this route. We hypothesized they would be in this layer of rock. We went there, we found them, and it matches the genetic record that we would predicted. So how does this not confirm it's a transitional species? If it matches everything we would expect of a transitional species.
I mean, there's a lot of things that you can expect from something that just could be wrong.
No. If I expect a criminal commits a murder and we find his DNA there, we go to his house, we see more evidence of him doing it. Did I say somebody else did it, or does this match what we expect?
Brother, there's been times where we see somebody's evidence or DNA there. Hold on, you see their DNA there, so we hypothesize that that's the person that did it. But in fact, it wasn't actually that person. That person's DNA was there because they spit gum out the window, and then they got their DNA on the scene of the crime.
In this specific analogy, it's only something the murderer can have, right? And as we found it at the person's house. So we would, based on this confirmation of evidence, that fits the hypothesis. The same thing.
That still wouldn't even mean that person did it, bro.
Okay, no, in the analogy I'm giving you, the only.
So you're just saying that it just is. It just is the case.
The Forvid, the guy who killed. Oh, sorry, the guy who unalived Celeste Rivas Hernandez, the 14-year-old. You know what I'm talking about, the singer, right? Her body was found in his Tesla. There was undeniable evidence on his body, on him.
It's not undeniable, buddy.
In his house, and
of course it would be there. If she was somebody that was like interning there, of course her DNA would be there.
Bro, are you Jayoma? Bro's Jayoma. Okay. Sorry, my fault. Anyways. But you see, okay, if we're just gonna use like common, do you think the scientific method is not reliable then?
I think it can be. Doesn't mean it's always is.
Okay, what's a reliable method to proving things are true than the scientific method?
I mean, I use like rational deduction to prove that a God exists, and it just obfuscates all that.
Rational deduction. Let's hear that.
I don't know if you would understand it, but
go ahead, bro.
All right, so there's an argument that I like to use called the De Ente et Essentia argument. Basically, it has to do with existence and contingent objects.
Before you continue, right? My modal like epistemology and modal ontology, I think all things are contingent. It's called Pratya Bhatmuspada. It's secular Buddhist epistemology. So I think everything is fundamentally contingent. I think there are no necessities. So if you just say that there needs to be some necessity at the foundation of contingencies to explain the conjunction of contingencies, I reject that argument. But if you have another argument, go ahead.
Okay, why is it contingent?
Why is all things contingent?
Mm-hmm. No, why is the thing in itself contingent?
What is the thing? What are we talking about? The thing?
Whatever you call contingent, these all things.
I said everything is contingent. That's what I'm saying. Everything is.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a freaking contradiction. But why is it contingent?
Wait. What's the problem with the contradiction? I don't think bivalent logic is prescriptive. I think you could have viable contradictions. What's wrong with that?
You can have contradictions?
Yeah.
All right. So then you believe. Logic. All right. So then you believe that by definition, even if the evidence all points to that being a transition species, it could not be a transition species.
No. You miss what I'm saying. So basically, right, in higher order logic, you can have specific ontological contradictions, but you still function normally like classical logic, right? So you would still say one proposition is more than likely true if the evidence fits this way, right? Or one's more than likely false.
And what's the other type of contradiction?
Well, what I'm saying is you can have actual contradictions in higher order logic. This is just due to something called Gödelian incompleteness, because bivalent logic is not prescriptive, as in the law of non-contradiction does not determine metaphysical possibility.
Okay, I'm not talking about metaphysical possibility in that case.
Or physical possibility. Like, I mean, by that, I encompassed all forms of possibility by saying metaphysical possibility.
Yeah, but okay, can you explain why it's contingent in the first place?
Why is all things contingent?
No, why is this thing? Why is something contingent?
What is the thing? You're asking me
anything that's contingent. What makes something contingent?
It could have not been.
Okay, why could it have not been?
If my parents never met, would I be born?
I get that. Why could it have not been?
My parents never met. Okay. So my parents meeting is what makes me being. So
ontologically, the reason why that thing could not have been, right?
Yes, because my parents could have never met. Yes.
All right, cool. So something that's contingent would mean that it doesn't have existence as its essence. Its essence is not identical to its existence.
I'm a metaphysical naturalist. I don't know what this means. What does this mean?
So something, you know what it means for something to exist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exist within time or space. Yeah. I'm a metaphysical naturalist. So it's not time or space.
Irrelevant. It's irrelevant. Okay. So that means that this thing, its existence is not equivalent to what it is. All right. So that means that the reason...
I don't think anything existence is equivalent to what it is, but go ahead.
Okay, that's cool, right? However, we're going to have a logical contradiction with this thing existing. And you want to hear why?
Go ahead.
Because if something's existence is not equivalent to what it is, that means there's a real distinction between it having existence and what it actually is. So because there's a real distinction, there needs to be something that links these two together where we actually have these contingent objects in reality. However, It can't be the cause of
I
itself.
disagree. I completely disagree. So first,
Why?
I don't think there's a distinction between. Wait, okay, well, I think it's trivially true that there's a distinction between existence and something that it is, right? Because, for example, I have a pen next to me and I have a cup next to me. They both exist, but they fundamentally are two different things. So I think, yeah, it's trivially true that there can be a distinction between existence and quote unquote essence, but I fail to see how this provides some type of metaphysical or ontological contradiction.
Because that means that they are a composite of its essence and its existence.
Yeah, that's not that, but that, okay, that's not a P and not P. It's not a contradiction.
Okay, so how in the first place does this thing exist?
That's not my burden to fulfill. All right, you understand?
You can, because it's a contradiction. Because
No, it's not.
it is.
Okay, it's not a contradiction.
I'll explain how it's a contradiction. Because one, in order for its essence to exist, it has to have some sort of existence, correct?
What is essence? I don't think. What is essence?
The whatness of a thing, like what something is
I'm
definition.
a nominalist. I don't believe that it's real.
You don't think
I
that
believe in
things have definitions? That it has nothing to do with that.
Definitions are descriptive. They're descriptive. Yeah, they're not. Yeah.
So if I ask you,
what you mean
if I ask you, what the freak do I have in my hand right now? What are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say phone.
Okay, how do you know that? What is a
We
phone?
define that thing as a phone.
Oh wow, thank you. It has a definition. Do you see how you just said define?
We define Discord. Yeah, nigga.
That's its whatness, smart one.
No, it's not. Whatness is metaphysically abstract. That does not exist. What?
If I just said what something is the definition of a thing, and then you said no, I don't believe that. Oh, but we define.
Let me clarify. When you say whatness, do you mean something metaphysically abstract, or do you mean something contingent on human minds?
Brother, I'm saying whatever the frick you mean when it has
Is that-
quiddity.
But again, what I'm saying is, I'm a nominalist. I do not.
That has nothing to do with what I'm saying, bro.
It does.
It has nothing to do with what I'm saying. You can agree that there's not some universal category of freaking phoneness. Regardless, whatever I have, whether this be the only thing that could possibly be this in the world, it's not going to matter. It has something, a whatness, which we can say, oh yeah, this specific whatness
when you say
definition.
whatness, that's not true.
It's a definition of a thing.
That's not whatness. That's just the.
Then how the frick, when I asked you what this is, you were able to explain it and said that this is how we define it.
I mean, humans having the ability to categorize things is not.
So it has a definition, correct?
That we created, yes.
Okay, cool. It doesn't matter if you create it or not. That's what I mean by its essence.
But that's not essence, bro. It's not essence.
The freak you mean it's not essence? So all of a sudden essence has one definition?
Essence would refer to something that's like metaphysically abstract, bro. Like
so it only has one definition?
Just because we call it a phone does not mean like that. Do you know what essential properties mean?
Why are we going to essential properties?
Because that's what I'm conflate that with essence. I think that's the same thing. That's what when you say essence.
So all you're doing is just saying that, oh yeah, you can't use that definition. That's all you're saying?
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying is that if you're talking about something metaphysically abstract, then that's what I think your argument needs to succeed.
What the frick about this is metaphysically abstract? I could literally come over there and hit you in the head with this thing because it's real.
I get there's a phone in your hand. I get that. No, but here's what
how do you know it's a freaking phone?
Because that's just what we call it.
Oh, okay. So it has a definition to it, right? That is different, really distinct from its existence, right?
Okay.
Right?
Okay, I see. That's trivially true. Everything.
Oh, wow. Congratulations. It's trivially true, but you've been arguing with me for like the past 15 minutes about this, John.
Hold on. My point is that it's nominalistically true, not.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. This could be the only object in the freaking universe, bro.
Can I say something? I'm gonna say one point and then you can continue your argument. So I think we're having a problem we're conflating two things. There's syntax and then there's semantic. Syntax is just the symbol/form we use to represent the idea being the semantic. So the syntax in this scenario is the word phone, right? And that I agree, that does exist, but that's a mind-dependent concept. The semantic is also a mind-dependent, what we actually mean when we say phone, which you're holding, right, is also, again, something we built and created, right? But now go ahead.
Is there something here or not?
Yeah. There is.
What is that thing that's here?
We call that a phone.
Okay, because it's something, we're explaining something that's mapping onto the reality of the thing, correct? Using language, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Now, we've determined that there's going to be a real distinction between that and its actual existence in and of itself.
I agree.
Okay. However, that definitional thing can't exist without its own proper existence. And that own proper existence can't be a proper existence without the essence or the definition itself. So that is a composition.
Wait. Pause. That's where we disagree. That's was literally my whole point.
All right, what do you disagree about?
The thing can exist without the definition. Maybe not phones specifically because we create those. That's the man-made thing. But a rock, for example, a rock would still exist before anybody could call it a rock.
What the frick is it?
It still exists before people.
Would it still have those essential properties?
Okay, I see what you're saying here, right?
Just answer the freaking question. I don't care. What are you defining? Are you defining nothing?
No, the rock.
Are you defining something then?
True, I see what you're saying.
Okay then. So what the frick are you talking about?
But what I'm saying,
you're just saying words. You're just saying words. I don't care about the definition. We use the definition because it's apprehending something in reality, correct?
No, sure, yes.
Okay.
But the rock
and that thing, hold on, that thing which we are apprehending in reality is really distinct from the fact that it exists. When we say the rock exists, it is different in that syntax, however you want to use it, right?
But it exists before the word rock, right?
Who cares?
That's my point. You said it can't exist without the definition. You just said it can't exist.
What the freak are you describing? What the freak are you describing? Are you describing something in reality?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I'm talking about.
Without the description,
I don't give a if you have zero language. If you say right, if that's what you say, you are describing something in reality. The thing which you are describing in reality
exists.
I don't care about the definition. When I say a definition, I'm saying the thing which is in reality. We're describing the thing in reality, correct?
I know. All right, continue.
Okay, then. The thing which we are describing in reality is really distinct from its existence, which you already said is trivially true.
It's only distinct from its existence because it's our minds doing that. A rock can't distinguish a tree from the grass.
What the frick are you talking about? I'm saying the fact that it's a rock doesn't mean that it has to exist because its existence isn't the same exact thing of it. What the thing we're apprehending.
Distinction.
You think distinction only exists in the mind?
Distinction not inherently subjective?
No. What the freak?
How? How can you not differentiate one thing from another?
There could be no minds, and it would still be two freaking rocks. If I put two phones here, everybody could blow up right now, and it would still be two phones.
All right. Now I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a mathematical nominalist. I do not think
this man is trolling.
Epistemology.
This man is trolling. This man is trolling.
It's gonna sound complicated.
This man is trolling. This man is trolling. This man is trolling. I'm a nominalist to your existence, bro. I'm an atheist to your existence. You're not a real person, bro. You're not a real person. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, talk to Jesus on Judgment Day. I don't know, you know, I'm a nominalist and then street, brother.
What's up, man?
What's up?
My question is, first off, what is a Christian?
Somebody who gets baptized in the Trinitarian formula. And if you want more fuller, in the truest sense or in the fullest sense, somebody who's Catholic.
Okay. So anyone who has done those things are Christian.
Yeah, by definition, unless they apostatize or something. But
okay, so can anybody within Christians be horrible people?
Yes, and then they run the risk of not being Christians anymore.
So you can't be a Christian and be a horrible person?
Not technically, no.
So what if you just sin and you repent for sinning?
Okay.
Would that still make you a horrible person?
Not necessarily.
So let me ask you this, Jordan. If I was, let's say if I was Christian, right? And I destroy the whole world, I cause mass destruction. I become, one of the worst human beings ever, right?
Mhm.
And then I repent. Will all my faults be forgiven?
You would be dead if you destroyed the whole world.
I'm alive on the hypothetical that I am alive. There's been many people that cause
Do you
mass
actually
destruction.
and you actually repent?
Yeah, repent. I got a full heart, and I really mean it.
Yeah, you just gonna be in purgatory for a long ass time.
And purgatory, what does that mean? I'm sorry.
Where your soul is being corrected.
Okay, cool. And that person over a non-believer, they have a better probability of going to heaven than
Yeah, because a non-believer has zero faith in God, so therefore wants zero of the benefits of God, or believes in zero of the benefits of God. Therefore, without faith, it's impossible to please God because you don't want anything from him. So therefore, you're just basically saying, yeah, I don't want nothing from you. No goodness, none of that.
Is that what they're saying, or is it
that is what atheism is proclaiming.
That's what atheism is saying.
Yes.
Okay, from an agnostic perspective then, right? What do you think agnostics are saying? Because in my outlook on it, it is I'm not sure. You know, there's many truths out here. Well, it's only one truth. There's many claims to be the truth.
Do you believe that a God exists? You just don't know which one.
Do I believe it? I believe there's a possibility. For sure.
I mean, if you believe that there's a possibility that a necessary being exists, then by definition, that thing would have to exist. I mean, that's just basic logic. Because if there's a possibility that something exists exists as necessary in all possible worlds, then
you're right. I'm saying, and my definition of God is a creator. That's my definition. Right? We got here somehow. I'm not sure how. We're here. This is the truth. We're here.
I mean, if you believe in a God, then you may have some hope, may not. Depends.
May have some hope, may not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what specifically is hell?
Hell is not having one, there's going to be a suffering because you're absolutely destroying your own nature because you're going against the thing that sustains your own nature. It's complete torment, unbelievable. Like, it's the opposite of what you would think that heaven would be. So heaven would be complete utter joy, happiness, never worried about, not being unhappy because you're always satisfied and fulfilled. Hell is the opposite. You always racing, ain't nothing. No matter what you try and hold dear to, it always fleets. So you hate everything. It's just a whole bunch of different stuff.
So, and you in your heart of hearts believe that belief is a choice. You believe that me, as a person that doesn't believe in your God, I can do things to come to a belief of your God.
Yes, Romans 1 literally says that. I can just pull it up. I was explaining this to somebody yesterday anyway.
Okay. I almost know what the scripture says, right? But this is more of just a human, like me and you speaking. Like, do you really, regardless of what the Bible say, outside your thoughts outside of the Bible,
Me,
Do you
yeah.
believe that?
So for since the Romans 1:20, for since the creation of the world, his invisible attributes are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power, Godhead, so that they are without excuse. So like everybody has the sufficient ability to believe. You can look outside, you can see that there's order. God dang well that if you believe in something called the Big Bang, if I go to a freaking Home Depot and I put an explosive TikTok on, if I put something that goes boom in a paint department, I'm not going to expect to see on the walls the Mona Lisa, freaking Van Gogh, and all these different things, Michelangelo, whatever, these paintings. You're not going to expect to see things that aren't chaotic, right? You're going to expect everything to be gone to smithereens, right? However, when we see all these things, we can see beauty, we can see order, we can all know that this is beauty, we can all know that this is order. Yet we're somehow, on a floating rock going Lord knows how many miles per hour. We're talking sacks of meat on a freaking device called TikTok where we watch people dance around. Like, that does not make any sense in any form of the atheist world. It just does not make sense.
Okay, so your God doesn't like for people to say they don't know. He doesn't like that answer. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how we got here.
About his existence?
I'm not. If that correlates, yes. If that's his existence,
No, you can't say that because he gave you sufficient evidence. You could say that, yeah, I know that a God exists. Then it's up to you to further delve into, okay, what type of God would that be that
okay.
likes
Let's go
order?
off the
and-
hypothetical. Someone was in search of the right answer,
Mhm.
and they didn't get a chance. They didn't get a chance to come to a right answer because they perished.
God
Would
made
that
them
you
perish
think
at the
that
correct time. It's up to God at that point. It got nothing to do with me. I don't know.
right? Okay, cool. Would you think that would be fair? Like, do you think someone that's in search of the truth and they only got to live, say, 20 years on Earth, rather than someone that found the truth at 25 years?
If they're truly in search for the truth, it can be argued that God would provide them with and they were like actually decent people. It could be argued that God would provide them with salvation. But that argument could be wrong and you could be doomed to hell. So, I mean, if you want to go based off of that, hey.
Right. It seems as if in your religion that it's a horrible thing to have trust issues.
Atheism in general, or agnosticism in general, is a horrible state to be in. It's not a good state to be in, because even the people with the lowest of IQs understand that a God exists, right?
Right.
It's not that.
Yeah, and even people with the highest IQs don't believe in God. But
Yeah, because that's a freaking pride issue. It has nothing to do with.
And some people with
God.
high IQs believe in God. It's both sides of the story.
Yeah,
Right. And you're saying it's a pride issue to not believe in God. So me, for example, I have pride because I don't believe in God. I wish I could. I wish I could say I got the answers to the universe, and
you don't have to have the answers to all the universe. You just have to know and understand that a God exists.
I'm sorry. Let me rephrase that. I wish I could say there is a God out here that I know who he is and I got a connection with him and things of that nature.
Do you agree that something made us, or where's your stance at?
My stance is I don't know. That's the stance. I don't know.
So you think we just got here at random, we just space dust, and all of a sudden we just...
That's not what I said. My answer was I don't know.
How the freak do you not know? What about this makes it questionable? What did you see that made it questionable?
What about this universe makes it questionable?
Mm-hmm.
The fact that we're in this universe. Everything about this is questionable. You have to question legitimately everything. That's how I like to think about it, right, Jordan? So you said, what did you say right before I just said that?
For what?
You said you think we just came out of stardust, and I said I don't know. I said I don't know.
You act like there's no evidence of like a creator or just lying around. Like, bro, you could look at the freaking tree. Like, why the freak does this junk look like that? Why are we able to breathe? And everywhere else we would have went, we would have been cooked.
Right. Those are great questions. Those are great questions, and that's what we all are trying to figure out. That's what I'm.
Do you play the lottery or something and be like, why am I winning 10 times in a row? This is a great question. Why am I winning 100 times in a row?
My bad. I didn't really pick up on that analogy.
That's literally the chances of us existing like this. It's like, oh yeah, I just won the Powerball, 1,000 times, but I think it's luck. Like, that doesn't even make sense, bro.
Okay, what I'm saying is there could be a multitude of reasoning. There could be so many things.
What's the reason? If any of those constants were just 1/1000th of the degree, we wouldn't even be here, bro. It's just off.
So my thing is, how do you know? Like, so have you ever heard of a philosophy term called solipsism?
Solipsism?
Yeah, solipsism. There we go. Thank you.
Yeah.
So how could you prove that you're not truly the only one here in this, like, all this whole world is built around just Jordan?
Even if it was just me and all this stuff was made up, even though I'm doing a piss poor job at making up my world, because my world be falling to shreds sometimes. Even if it was just me, it would be necessary that a God exists based off of the argumentations that we have, the logical argumentations.
And can I get your definition of God?
God is going to be pure existence, is going to be the all-powerful, unchanging God. Like the all-powerful, unchanging being. Pure act being.
All right, then. Thank you.
Did you want the argument for that or not? Because the last dude tried to get an argument. I don't know what the frick he went into, bro.
Argument for the definition of God?
No, for the existence of God.
For the existence of God, I think there's some great evidence pointing towards God way. I think there's
and you might as well accept the evidence.
I think there's great evidence pointing towards many other different ways too. Honestly, I think to keep an open mind is healthy, right? But I appreciate you. No, I appreciate you. You have a good one, man.
All right, bro. That shit might be doomed. Just say I'm gonna keep an open mind to hell, even though it has no benefit to myself at all. Hello? Apollo. Y'all gotta pray for that shit. Hello?
Can you hear me? What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
How are you doing, man? So I have a question.
It's a lovely question.
My mic was like moving weird. So the question I have for you simply, is God necessarily unchanging?
Heck yeah.
Necessarily, sure.
Heck yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So that means there's no possible case scenario in which God changes, right? Like
That's
his
correct.
nature. Okay, gotcha. So if God is necessarily unchanging, that means in no possible case would he be changing. Then how is it the case that you're going to be claiming that the Son in the Jesus Christ form, which is the human form, is God? Are those two claims compatible?
The human nature itself isn't God. The person who assumes that nature
I know,
is
the
God.
person who embodies the human nature is God. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, how is it going to be the case that Jesus Christ is God if it is the case that he was changing and God is necessarily unchanging?
He wasn't changing according to his divine nature. He's changing according to his humanity.
I don't think you're understanding, right? So if you're going to claim that something is God, right, and you agree that God is necessarily unchanging, then what you'd have to agree on is that there's no possible case scenario in which God is changing. Okay?
Do you think that we think God changed somehow in that? Explain how there's a change. Maybe I'm not understanding you.
Going from a state of hunger to not hunger is going to be a form of change.
Do you understand that that's human nature? That's not divine nature? That's not God?
So you're saying that the Son in the human nature is not God, correct?
He's not God according to the human nature, no. That doesn't even make sense.
Oh, so to be clear, you're saying that according to the human nature, I want to make this clear on the clip, the Son, when he was a human, was not God, correct?
He's not God because of the human nature. That's just stupid.
Okay, so you agree that
no Christian believes that.
Human, he was not God.
That is not the same statement. That is not the same statement at all.
A second. So I want to make it clear. I want to make this really clear.
Yeah, you're gonna change the statement. What I just said.
Son,
no one said that.
Anything. I'm asking for a clarification.
How is it a clarification if you're asking something completely different?
I'm asking a question to seek clarity.
Oh, okay.
So the question is very simple. I'm asking you right now, Jordan. Is it the case that when the Son was incarnated as Jesus Christ, was he God? And you said yes or no. Which one is it? What's the answer?
He is God. It's not what you asked before. You just asked a different question.
Jesus as a human is God?
He's not a
When he was
human
was he
because of his human nature. I said that like 3 times. I don't know why you keep asking
I'm not
different
asking
questions and
reasons
trying
for
to.
why he was a human. I'm asking you. No, I'm asking you. When he was a human, was he God? Yes
The
or no?
person, yes, he was God. He doesn't stop being God.
But the person was changed in per your own agreement, and he said that was just happening according to the human nature.
He was what?
Changing. He changed. He went from a state of hunger to not hunger.
According
Suffered at some moment in time.
according to his humanity, yeah, because his humanity's not divinity. That doesn't make sense.
But they said God is necessarily unchanging. So if you're claiming that God is necessarily unchanging, then the person
His
is
divinity
God
didn't
can't be
change.
changing in any case whatsoever.
What do you mean in any case
Divinity is not the
whatsoever?
same as God. You understand this, right?
No, the
God
divinity
takes on-
is God. No, what this takes
Divine-
God takes on divinity?
What do you think the divinity is?
You think God takes on that which makes God God? That's what divinity means.
What do you think divinity is?
I just said what divinity is.
Right?
Divinity is that which makes God God.
Okay, so the thing which makes God God would not be God, right?
It's the divine nature.
Concession.
It's divine
Yeah, the
nature.
divine nature is the essential features of a divine object, which would not be the divine object itself.
Well, no. It is. We believe in absolute divine simplicity.
Do you know the Thomistic or the Aristotelian notions of what nature is according to Christian scholars?
Yes, I don't think you do though.
Okay, you understand that nature is different from the thing which takes on the nature, right? You understand this, right? What are you confused about? Okay, cool. So if you understand this, right, then the divinity, which is the divine nature, will not be God itself. God is
What the frig are you talking about? The persons don't take on the divine nature. They don't take on the divinity. That doesn't even freaking make sense.
Person's the nature?
Yes.
Person's the nature?
Yes.
Wait, hold on a second. So to be clear in this, right,
The persons are my
are property bearers.
huh?
Nature. Do you agree that's a nature, given how it's
The
defined?
nature, by definition, is the principle by which something acts. We don't think it's a bunch of different properties combined together.
Is a principle an operator or no?
A what?
Is a principle an operator, yes or no?
I don't know what you're saying.
I'm asking you, is a principle, like the principle by which something operates, is that a property or not? Which one is it?
Is it a property?
Yeah, is it the property, yes or no?
What do you mean by property? Because the property is just going to be something that's...
True of a given object.
So you're asking if the nature is true of a given object?
I'm asking you if the nature is going to be something which is a property or a property bearer.
It doesn't bear things. It just is the property.
Here's an easier question for you. Does God possess the divine nature?
God is the divine nature.
So God is the divine nature. He does not possess the divine nature.
Yeah, because the way you're saying possess makes it seem like it's something external to him
Does
that
the
he
Son
has.
possess the divine nature?
He is the divine nature.
So the Son is the divine nature.
Mhm.
So
If
that
you say
means if the Son is the divine nature, so the divine nature is the Son, correct?
yes,
Vice versa.
yes,
Okay, so if that is to be the case, you're claiming it to be the case at the same time, that the divine nature can act in a way according to its human nature? That's insane.
that is not what I'm saying, bro. That statement you said doesn't even make sense.
Was hungry according to his human nature,
Mhm.
despite believing the Son is the divine nature. So that means you believe the divine nature was hungry according to its human nature. That's ridiculous.
What the frig are you talking
That's your
about?
position, bro.
Do you understand that the divine nature is not the human nature?
I don't think you understand it. Dude,
I don't think you understand.
conversation. Calm down, Jordan. You said originally
Mhm.
that the Son was hungry according to his human nature, correct?
Mhm, yes.
And just a while ago, walk with me, you said the Son is the divine nature. So that means you're claiming the divine nature was hungry according to his human nature.
So if you understood the Son, right? He has a human nature, i.e., that is something distinct from his divine nature. You understand that, right?
How does the divine nature has a human nature?
What do you mean? So
You
when we
claim
say
the Son is the divine nature. That's your words, by the way.
yeah,
Mine. Your
the
words.
person is the
divine
hypostasis.
nature.
The person is the hypostasis for the human nature.
Brother, you said that the Son is the divine nature. Let's focus on that claim. You made this claim, the Son is the divine nature. So if the Son is the divine nature, and you believe the Son possessed the human nature, then you simultaneously believe that the divine nature possessed the human nature because you believe the divine nature is identical to the Son. It's a very simple goddamn argument.
And you were just trying to argue before that something that possesses something is not that thing, right?
Absolutely, but
okay, so if they possess, hold on, if the Son
he's lost
possesses the divine nature, he's not going to be absolutely identical to that nature, right?
Absolute identity. No one said absolute identity at all in the conversation. I said the Son is not the divine nature. You claimed he was the divine nature. You said they're the same thing. That's your position, not mine.
What does that have to do with what I just said?
So that means it entails the possession that the divine nature possessed with the human nature.
And by possess, what does that mean? That would mean that it's not the human nature, right?
Means that the divine nature or the human nature is something which is
it's something different, right? It's something different, right? It's something different, right? It's something different, right?
Until a contradiction in your position.
No, it's something different, right? The human nature is something different than divine. Okay, so by definition, it's not the same thing. So I don't know why the freak you keep saying that.
You understand? You're proving my points right now, right? My point is simply that you cannot claim. These are the two claims you made, by the way. I want you to walk with me. It's a very simple argument. You have made this claim, which is simply the Son is the divine nature. That's the first claim of the conversation. Well, one of the first claims. And the second claim is that the Son was hungry according to his human nature. If the Son was hungry according to his human nature, and you believe the Son is the divine nature, then to say the Son is hungry according to his human nature is identical to saying that the divine nature was hungry according to his human nature because you believe the divine nature and the Son are the exact same thing.
No, they're not the exact same thing, brother.
You believe they're identical.
What type of identity, brother?
So they're different in some sense.
And what? Of course they're different in some sense. We believe there's a virtual distinction, brother.
Okay, cool. So you believe there's a virtual distinction between the Son, right, and the divine nature, correct? Okay, cool. And so to be clear on a couple of things, right, when you talk about nature, right, would you say that the nature is a principle of operation?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So if that is to be the case, right, it's a principle by which the subject operates, correct? Which would be the Son or the Father, the Holy Spirit. Okay, so if that is to be the case, then it would not be the case that the persons would be the divine nature or the human nature, but rather they're participating in that principle.
What the freak did you get that from? What's the argument for that?
Did you not track the argument?
I don't. That's why I'm asking you. What's the argument for that?
Yeah, I'm going to explain.
It's a virtual distinction. It's not a real distinction.
He has lost his mind, guys. Just like there are other.
Do you understand the difference between a virtual distinction and a real distinction?
Absolutely.
Okay, so how are you making that argument then?
Conceptual distinctions are usually ones which lies within the mind, and the real distinctions are instrumentally. That's irrelevant. All right, my point is
How is that irrelevant? That would literally mean they're materially identical. They are the essence.
You, alongside all the Christians in the chat, are confused about this because the point, dude, it doesn't entail this at all. But I'm gonna make the point that does make it previously right. It's by my.
But your Wi-Fi is bad, your mic's bad, your argument's bad, everything's just bad, bro.
Yeah, so it should be much better now. What's up? So anyways, as I was saying, right, so I was telling you that because you agreed that the nature is a principle of operation, that it would not be the case that the subject of the proposition would be the nature itself.
That just doesn't follow. Why is that
Even
the
your own
case? No, why is that the case? Prove that.
Because of the fact that you agree that the persons, right, are the things participating in the principle and not the principle itself.
I did not say that. You said that. I said prove that.
The persons are not the nature.
I say prove that they participate in it.
No, you're not tracking. I asked you explicitly, right, do you believe the persons participates in the principle? And you said yes.
I did not say that. I can rewind this and show you. I did not say they participate. You said that. And I asked you to prove that.
Right, you don't believe that You don't believe, to be clear, you don't believe the persons participate in the principle of operation relevant to divinity? You don't believe this?
They say that again?
Do you believe this, yes or no? Do you believe, right, yes or no, that the persons participate in the principle of operation relevant to divinity? Sorry, do you believe this?
No, bro. They are the divinity.
You don't believe they participate in it? In the principle of operation relevant?
They don't participate in something that isn't them. They are that thing. That's divine simplicity. The aspect in which, hold on, the aspect which we look at when we're talking about their essence is what we call their existence in and of itself, or their SAN. It's a different aspect in which you look at the divine nature. If you're talking about according to the persons, that's going to be called something SAOD, or in terms of relation to each other, or existence towards each other. So you're just confusing every
argument, cause the primary argument.
What the lay out your argument, because your argument don't make no sense. It doesn't even follow.
Well, the argument is very simple, right? So you believe that God, right, is necessarily unchanging, right? When they talk about necessity in modal logic, that would extend it to all possible case scenarios, but you believe there are case scenarios in which God is going to be changing in virtue of a particular nature, and so there's a contradiction. It's very simple. You know what it means for something to be necessary in modal logic, sir?
Bro, it's so sad. Like, you don't understand how, like, you are having one of the slowest arguments I've ever heard in my life.
Stun-locked, guys. He's actually stun-locked.
I am, because this is a horrendous argument.
Argument I've just delivered a while ago.
Which that had nothing to do with that?
Argument, tell me. Since you know the argument is horrendous, what's the argument?
Brother, your argument is God can't change.
What do you think the argument is, since you're claiming the argument to be horrendous?
Because your argument is God can't change. God took on something, right? And that something changes, therefore God changes. That's your argument.
Okay, cool. And you understand that that would be the case, that there's a contradiction in your position, right?
A contradiction has to be talking about the same thing in the same way. When we just said something else or something, he took on something else, that thing changes has nothing to do with the first thing in the first place. Like, this is horrendous. And the people that are agreeing with you, I don't know how they're that's actually sad.
God. Dude, that thing
is that thing that is that thing that is, hold on, is the simple. You got two things. Is this thing this thing? Hello?
Wait, sorry, repeat that, please. What's up?
Is this thing this thing?
No, they're different things.
All right, and when I do this, is this thing changing?
Yes, this is definitely changing. What's your point? What's the relevance?
This is changing? This thing? When I do this?
I'm talking about the thing which is crushing, is changing.
This is changing, right?
You're lagging for me really badly, so I can't even see what's going on.
All right.
Like, your video's lagging for me personally, so I'm not able to see it.
I have two bottles in my hands. One on the right and one on the left.
Okay.
All right. The one on the right is not the one on the left, correct? I am shaking the one on the right.
Absolutely. What's your point?
I am shaking the one on the right, right? Does that mean the one on the left is changing?
No.
Wow. Thank you. That's basic logic. We have one divine nature and we have one human nature.
Okay, cool. So
if this is doing this,
is my argument.
This is not changing, right? Right? Right?
We're lagging for me so bad. What do you?
All right, bro. It's just, I'm gonna just spare you the trouble, bro. Clark Petition 305 with the $10 super chat. Appreciate you. Sup, Jordan? You almost got me. Thankfully, Eli posted that prayer to Mary and it snapped me out of it. LOL. JK. Still searching. Still a free agent. You need to get out of free agency, brother. The season about to start. Clark 305 again with the $10. Appreciate you. The thing about callers like this is that they are simply reading a script and trying to stick to it. So when you throw them a curveball, they don't know how to engage. It's so obvious. That is true. That is true. They don't know what the freak is going on, bruh. Have zero idea what's going on, bruh. Not a clue in the world. What's good?
That's good. So I liked your argument though, like, but you shook the bottle, right? You shook the water bottle and you kept the Mountain Dew still, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that Jesus is the divine nature.
Okay.
So wouldn't both have to shake in order for one to shake? You're saying that Jesus is the divine nature. You're saying Jesus is God. Right or wrong?
He is. The person is God, yeah.
Okay, so man can kill God.
If you're talking about man can unalive God who took on human nature, like, yeah, because the person.
And Jesus is God. You're saying that Jesus is the divine nature. So you're saying man can kill God.
Yeah, because whatever is quote unquote attached or assumed.
Omniscient. So God is omniscient, all powerful. You said he's unchanging.
Yeah.
He can die.
According to something that isn't his divine nature,
So
yeah.
that's just not common logic right there. Like that's
So in order for something to be a contradiction, it has to be in the same way at the same time, the same instance. So like I said, got two natures. This one made this one, boom, pop out of nowhere, right? Because this is the creation, right?
Right.
This is the cool one. Now, if this is shaking, nothing about this is changing. However, the only reason that we have this is because of this one, right?
Okay.
And this one has the power to control this one and be the person of this one. So when this changes, we can say the person who belongs to this is changing, but only according to this, not according to this.
You just said, wait, how? You just discredited what you're saying because you said that it's only shaking because of the divine nature. The divine nature is controlling of the human nature.
The person who has the divine nature is the person of that human nature.
Would have to control the human vessel, right?
Okay.
So if Jesus is dying, you feel me? Like, how is
it's only according to the human nature. But that person who is the person of that human nature is also God. So we can say that the person who is God died according to the human nature, not according to the divine nature. Whenever something happens, you have to say in what way it is happening.
Okay, so now let's I like that argument right there, but now let's go back to like, so how old do you think Christianity is? You feel me? Like the age of Christianity.
Like just following the Messiah?
The age of Christianity when it was brought about?
Like 2,000 years or so?
2,000 years ago. Okay. So how long have we been here? You know, it's just
thousands of years.
Yeah, hundreds of thousands, you know, hundreds of thousands of years, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just okay, so do you believe in that God is in heaven? You feel me?
He's omnipresent.
Omnipresent, so he's everywhere at once, everywhere at all times. So God is also in hell, correct?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes, so God is also here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So now you're saying that God is omnipresent, but they say that in the Bible that God is in heaven, right? Sitting on the throne. So they're confining God to heaven.
No, that's just what we call a localized presence. So he has created effects that would be in the created order, which we can say is the presence of God, because we know that it represents him. It's not his divine nature.
That didn't, like, what are you saying?
We don't think he's actually stuck in heaven. It literally
I
says
mean,
the heavens of heavens can't
it's
can't
stated.
contain
I
him.
mean, it's stated
It
in the
says
Bible.
the
When you
heavens of
die, okay,
heavens
so when you
can't
die
contain him.
and you go to heaven, what are you going to heaven for? To become one with God, right? Is that right or wrong?
There's multiple definitions of the word heaven. There's the place, and then there's what we call the beatific vision, which is
Okay,
actual sight of God, which is the true heaven.
break that down for me.
So there's going to be a distinction between the place, like where angels and all those live, and then where God has his like localized presence,
Of course.
and then like the actual experience of heaven, which every Christian and every person should look forward to, which is the beatific vision, which is going to be the image of God, is seeing God. So because we're intellectual beings, the goal of our intellect when we use it is to have knowledge, right?
Of course. Wait, can I stop you right quick? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
In order, you're saying to see, but in order to see, you have to have light, right? And the creation of light is what creates everything we see in this material plane. So it's like you're saying that God is a physical being in a way, or a seen or unseen nature, which means God is on this in this realm. He's
No, we're saying that God can enlighten us so that we can see his nature. He can give us that ability. And because we're intellectual beings, right? The end of our intellect is to have knowledge.
right.
And the way that we have knowledge is to have an understanding, a comprehension, or a vision of what is true, is to have truth.
Which
That's
is
it.
actual facts, right?
Yes, it's to have truth.
Okay.
Jesus
So
is the
now,
way, the truth, and the life.
okay. Now let's go to actual facts, right?
It's not literally
How did
facts,
no,
though.
okay. Now let's see how Jesus came about, right? How did Mary even get pregnant?
The Father, Son, and Holy Spirit made her pregnant.
Okay, now if you got home and your wife was randomly pregnant, and she told you that God got her pregnant, would you believe her?
Not unless an angel or something told me, like, what the frick?
Not unless an angel, like, come on, let's be logical now. So we know that we understand that it takes a man and a woman, right, to create life.
No, it doesn't. The freak.
Okay.
You
So
think?
Jesus just
You
spawned in.
think? Whoa!
So okay,
My
so
bad.
how
I
did
thought
how
Adam.
did
I
you
thought
find
Adam. I thought Adam didn't have parents. My bad. I didn't know that God wasn't powerful enough to just make Adam
Okay,
or
and
just
how
make
old is
somebody.
Adam? How old is Adam? 6,000 years, right?
The freak are you
Or is
talking
he the
about?
first one in creation?
He's the
What
first.
are you talking about? You're not listening. Don't deter from my conversation of basic, you feel me, genealogy. You feel me?
Luna just ran away again.
It's okay, brother.
You don't think
That
God can
doesn't matter.
create a
How does
body?
that not matter?
You don't think God can create a body? Like, what are you talking about?
No, it's weird. Why hasn't he done it again? Okay, like it's common
Because
sense.
there's no need.
Anyway,
Why would he do it again?
okay, so you see the world right now. Okay, it's no need.
No, what the frick? Jesus already came. What are you talking about?
Jesus already came. So why is all this chaos happening in the world?
Because there's wicked people still who don't want to conform to Christianity. Like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about? Most of the wicked people are Christians.
They can't be Christian and wicked. That's a contradiction.
They can't be Christian and wicked, brother. So, okay. So you just said that Christianity is 2,000 years old. We are going back to a simple. You still haven't answered my simple question of how Jesus even came about. You're talking
He's
about angels that are
God. He
pregnant.
literally can make a
God,
baby.
so a man. So, and God is all knowing. Correct.
Yes.
Correct. So how did Jesus not know about the end, or him, or knowing that he was going to get hung on a cross? Like,
He knew it. What are you talking about? He's the one that gave the people prophecy in the Old Testament.
himself? So why would he allow himself for that to happen? Is that not simple logic?
To be an example for us that we're supposed to.
No, you're in mental slavery right now, brother.
What the freak are you talking about, bro? Why are you all over the place, bro?
No, we're using common logic.
We're not. You're just scatterbrained.
How did you get here? Your mom and father, correct?
Okay, how did they get here?
Their mom and father.
Go all the way down the line. Where it ends up?
On going back.
And then what happens?
So we have Adam? Are we serious?
You think we just had an infinite amount of people?
Brother, it has to be a stage of evolution, brother.
Jay.
You think humans just spawned in? This is the common ignorance that we talk about. We understand that we're constantly adapting. You feel me? This is common sense. This is common logic. So when you read the Bible in a religious, you feel me?
Was there a point where something that we evolved from didn't have intellect?
Brother, obviously it had intellect. We have existence before creation.
What the freak are you talking about, bro?
Yeah.
Hey, talk to them birds, bro. Maybe they got some answers for you. Good gracious. Hello?
Hey, brother, how you doing?
What's up?
I'm gonna have to get back with you, all right? I'm gonna have to get back with you.
All right. Yo, is Eli live yet, bro? Somebody tell me if Eli live, bro. So I can just sing all over there, bro. This is ridiculous. Nick is like, I didn't ask him. Nick was like, I asked if Eli was live because Eli is supposed to be doing some freaking debate review, bro. Of that bull crap cliff jump, bro. In like an hour? Nah, bro, we ain't gonna make it. We not gonna make it. Hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
What's up, man? So I got a question about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
So, do you believe that Adam was the first man that was put here on Earth?
Yeah.
Do you believe that there was any evolution partaking, or it was just Adam?
Yeah, it was Adam, but I mean, we evolved to this day.
So you believe in like cavemen?
No.
You don't believe in cavemen? Do you have a reason for that, or is it just a stance?
I think them was just monkeys, bro. Just apes. They just call them man. They wasn't no man.
Yeah, well, I'm having the problem where I look up graphs about it, and it says that there's different skeletal remains that look kind of similar, but look pretty damning as like a human skull or a human brain.
It just looks. They thought that there was an ape one time that was a human ape, a human thing, but it wasn't. Like it just has a skull. It just looks like it transitioned from place to place. That's just all they can say, bro.
So you don't think that there's like any speciation?
Not like that. Not for humans. I think God just
Why would
made
it
us.
not be for humans, but for other things?
I mean, God can just decide to do it that way because humans are higher beings. We're intellectual beings. We have rationale.
Okay, so just definitively, you don't think that humans actually came from anything, but that we were planted here.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's kind of it, but I'll go on to a question about what about the death before Adam and Eve? Like with other animals.
One, we don't know how long ago Adam and Eve was. We don't know how long they was in the garden. I think maybe some church fathers believe that there was death before the garden, and then some don't. I don't think there was.
Are you seeing church fathers stemming from like Catholic belief or like Orthodox?
Well, these people would be both Orthodox and Catholic saints. But yeah, I mean, huh?
How'd they be both?
Because the Orthodox broke off from the Catholics like 1,000 years ago. So for the first 1,000 years, we had the same saints.
I thought the Orthodox came before the Catholics.
That's what they say.
Weren't there a pentarchy structure? There was
Yeah,
a pentarchy structure before the councils of Rome.
yeah, but if you read if you look at the history, there's gonna be a lot of church fathers that say they were supposed to be united with Peter. At the beginning of this video, I kind of went over some of that. Also, if you read what was said in Matthew chapter 16, the keys of the kingdom were given to Peter.
Right. They
So
were. And wasn't he like the first among equals at the councils of Nicaea?
I don't say that.
So you
I don't
think the
believe that.
councils of Nicaea was a Catholic thing?
Yeah. Because
You say
even
it's
if you
Catholic.
read what the church fathers say around that, like the popes, they were saying stuff that was not first among equals talk. Like if you look up Pope Agatho's letter, bruh, it's just bad. But my argument from the Bible, if you look at Matthew 16,
Yeah.
says, and I also say to you, you are Peter, and upon this rock I'll build my church, and the gates of Hades shall not prevail against it, and I will give you the keys of the kingdom of heaven. Whatever you bind on earth will be bound, and whatever you loose on earth, etc., etc. So Jesus changed his name to Peter. His name,
Because it's rock.
yeah,
Yeah, I get that. But what says that after Peter came the succession of the lineage to the popes?
So you're gonna have a few things. One, the gates of hell will not prevail. The gates of hell will not prevail, right?
Yeah, he's talking about the church.
Exactly. But who's the rock? The rock's supposed to be Peter.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to, Peter's dead right now. Well, he's not, he's a saint right now. Unless you think he's still ruling the visible church. We got to figure out how in the world he's still a rock here, right? Because if you read
From this, what I'm seeing is that he's talking about the church, but not papal succession.
well, the apostles, the bishops come from the apostles, right?
And they went out into their areas and they formed their bishops.
Yeah, but the bishops come from the apostles, right?
Yes.
Okay. So there was an apostle that came from Peter, and those apostles are the popes. And they literally say that, yo, this is there's plenty of church fathers that say, yo,
Were popes?
no, the ones that came from the line of Peter were called the popes.
And who gets to say that? What the succession lineage is? Who gets to deem it fit that they're popes?
The same Catholic and Eastern Orthodox saints say that.
Well, see, this is where I saw that earlier councils would be like at Nicaea 1, Nicaea 2, prior to the Roman popes clarifying their councils. Because in my perspective, I see the Roman councils actually being separate from the Orthodox councils in the very beginning. Peter was the rock, yes, you're not wrong about that, but there is no succession or lineage of popes that stem after him that anyone talked about, or at least more specifically, none from the Gospels.
Well, there's
So I'm
not going to
just
be
wondering where
any.
you're getting that from.
Do you believe in bishops in general?
There's most definitely deacons in areas, and they might know stuff, but that doesn't say anything unless they conform to something like Nicaea 2.
Do you read the church fathers or not?
I've seen a little bit here and there about the church fathers. I don't actively study the church fathers.
Oh, okay. So, let me see how I can prove this. So, first of all, you see how Peter's going to be the one with the keys, right?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Now, do you know what the keys represent? Or you know what it
I
means?
think it's about Jesus prevailing against Hades, correct?
Yeah, it's literally the power of the entire church.
Right, and he has the power to bind or loose, right?
Correct.
With that. Yeah, and it's to the church, the clergy of the church. What does it say?
No,
that,
it's the entirety of the church. People too.
Okay, so if the entirety of the church would be the entire geographic region of the church at that time, then it would be to the confirmation of the Orthodox, not the Catholics. The Roman Catholics came pretty long after. The councils of Rome were after Nicaea 1 and Nicaea.
You know, when they say Roman Catholics, they just mean that there's like they have a Roman bishop, right?
Yeah, and there was other bishops too. That's why I said the pentarchy structure.
The head of
There was
that was
Constantinople, there was other areas too.
But if you look at historically, the head was Peter or Rome.
Okay, so if that's the case, then why did the councils first happen in I think it was Turkey, not Rome?
For variety of different reasons. That doesn't, the place where it happens doesn't mean that they have power or something.
Okay, but there was no, from what you showed me with Peter and being the rock and having the ability to bind and loose, none of that states anything about popes.
So what ended up happening is something called apostolic succession. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know of apostolic succession, but I just don't see it in the same light as you do.
What do you see it as?
Like I said, there was the pentarchy structure of different bishops.
There can't be a pentarchy if there's not apostolic succession. Do you agree with apostolic succession?
What is your definition of apostolic succession?
That means that these churches have a line that comes from the apostles.
The apostles.
Yeah.
Right. But then how can you say that this lineage or this specific person is a pope, head over the church, without any other prior thing stemming from the Gospels on it?
That's what I was showing you from the Gospels. How is Peter supposed to be the one that the keys are given to, and yet all the apostles died? They're supposed to be passed on. Like when one of the apostles was missing, they filled him in with another one.
I guess, yeah, my question would be, how do you know that after Peter, the person who succeeded him was specifically the Pope, whenever there was no Pope that was mentioned as the head of the church?
Pope just means father. Like, it's just the father of Rome. There's just going to be somebody of Rome. Like, you can read the early church fathers that talk about, like, yeah, this is the person that came after Peter.
So my specific question to you would be, how do you know that after Peter, there was a person that, I guess it would be superseded him, and that he was the correct person? Like, do you have any
you can go to one of the people who was the disciple of John. His name was Irenaeus. And in his book Against Heresies, in book 3, chapter 3,
but who gave Irenaeus the right to decide who was the head of the church?
He didn't decide. He said that that's what comes from his preeminent authority. And Christ decided who was the head. That was Peter. That's why he gave him the keys.
But from my perspective, there was no synod or clergy to speak of until the councils came to be. In the very early centuries, there was nothing.
There was nothing.
I mean that there was bishops of geographic regions, but there was no church structure specifically to say that it was a succession for popes. There just wasn't.
You know, the Pope is just like another one of those like bishops. He's just the one of Rome, right?
Yeah, I get that you say that he's the head bishop of all the other bishops, correct?
But he's specifically over Rome.
Yeah, and I'm not arguing that, but I'm saying that there's other areas like Antioch or Constantinople, and they had their head bishops too, and they called them popes as well. Now it doesn't mean
Pope just means father. I get that. I'm just using Pope in like an English way, because usually when we say Pope, like it just means the person of Rome.
That there was multiple popes at one point in history, whenever there was a Pope of Rome.
There was multiple bishops. Like there's not just one bishop. Yeah.
And they were called popes.
They weren't called popes, because Pope comes from like Italian Papa and like different things like that, like Latin. But
and you're just saying that it means father, right?
When we say Pope in English, we mean the head of the Roman Church. That's what we mean.
Okay, so back then, whenever the Roman Church succeeded Peter, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of a given that you're presupposing that there was a succession directly to the Pope of Rome. That period of time, there was other geographic areas, and I keep on saying this, and they had bishops too, and they had synods. It was a pentarchy structure. There's around 5 of them. One of them was included with Rome. So what
does that have to do with what I'm saying at all? Like what do you think that's saying?
Specifically has to do with the lineage for the succession to the Pope of Rome. how do you get that whenever there was other structures in different geographic regions, and the first councils didn't even happen at Rome? They happened in
because
Turkey.
they kept a list of them.
What can you expound upon that?
So those people had churches, like they had people underneath them, and people like Irenaeus, he kept like a list of, like, if you look at any of these church fathers, they're gonna have like a list of them.
Can you expound upon that? Can you show me what you mean by that? Like which church fathers were stating these things?
Yeah, like Irenaeus, who was a disciple of the disciple of John.
Yeah, what did he say exactly? And this is supposed to support the lineage to the succession of the Pope in your position.
Yeah. I don't know what that has to do with anything, though.
Well, because you're claiming that there was a Pope and he was the head bishop
of Rome, yeah.
All the regions.
Well, that's a different claim. Like, I'm trying to figure out what you mean, though.
What I'm saying is that prior to you saying that the Pope of Rome succeeded Peter, there was other bishops, and they had their head bishops as well, and they did not believe the same thing that you're saying right now.
What do you think I'm saying? What do you think I'm saying?
That the first Pope after Peter succeeded Peter and was specifically the Pope of Rome. That's what I'm getting at. That's what I heard this entire time.
You just think they didn't have a Pope of Rome?
You're saying that there was a Pope of Rome after Peter, correct?
Yes.
Okay, and you're saying that this was what, in the 2nd century?
It was immediately after Peter died.
Okay, who do you think it was?
I think it was Linus.
Linus.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get the list. Book 3.
Now, then I guess the question would go further to say who gave Linus the succession? Like what clergy or what councils was had to say that Linus was the Pope and the head bishop of all the other regions? Or you're not saying that, are you? That it's all.
Brother, that is two different. There is two different things, two different questions.
That's what I was getting at.
Whether he's the head of the entire church is a completely different question as to whether there was a successor.
Okay, well then I think we agree then that you don't believe that he was the head of the entire church then.
No, I do believe he was the head of the entire church.
Okay, so then this is very on point.
There's two different things for that though.
Okay. What would those be?
One is going to be showing what Peter's role was and also showing what the other popes said that Peter's role was. And the other one's just going to be showing that they just have a lineage to Peter.
Yeah, this seems like circular reasoning, that like there was no councils that were actually had over this sort of thing, and that there was Orthodox as well that had their geographic regions, and they didn't.
What do you talk? I honestly don't think you have any idea what you're talking about. I don't, because I don't know what you're even saying.
I'm saying that the succession to the Linus, I'm assuming that you're claiming, was the first pope after Peter.
Okay, what about it?
That there was no confirmation bias aside from the people of Rome that conformed to this, and so I see it as a circular reasoning.
They all agreed to this. What are you talking about?
Pope status over all the other churches, like you said.
Brother, that's a different claim than somebody being from Peter.
I literally asked you, I said, do you think that the Pope is the head of all the other churches at this time? You said yes.
That is a different claim than saying that they agreed that there was a Pope who was in succession. Do you understand that?
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. There 100% was a Pope in succession for Rome. 100% there was popes in Rome. I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
I'm saying you're saying that the Pope was the head of the entire church, the whole body of Christ. He was the head of it.
Yes.
At that time, whenever there was Orthodox and Orthodox councils.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
Have you read the church fathers? Or do you just listen to whatever Orthodox people say?
It seems like from the Orthodox councils that there was none in Nicaea 1 or Nicaea 2 that predated the councils of Rome.
Why are you saying Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2?
Because it predates the councils of Rome. And especially
what councils of Rome? What are you talking about? When you say councils of Rome, what are you talking about?
I think, give me a second. I'll look up a whole list for you if that's what you're trying to get at.
I don't know. What do you mean? Because you just said Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2. Those are like 400 years apart.
Yeah, I know. Because you said that in the very beginning. You said that the Orthodox broke apart from the Roman Catholics. That's what you said.
Okay.
But in reality, what happened was the Roman Catholics broke apart from the Orthodox.
How do you know that?
Because, like you said, they're 400 years apart. It came beforehand.
So what? Huh?
It literally predates the councils that happened with Rome, Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2. And they were led by the clergy of the Orthodox. So what are you getting at?
I don't think you know anything about ecclesiology at all.
You're not really listening to what I'm saying then.
I don't know I have zero idea what you're saying. You're saying that it wasn't in Rome. What does that have to do with anything?
There was councils that predated the Roman councils.
And what does that have to do with anything?
Because they didn't agree to the Pope status that he was the head.
If I show you one of those popes from those councils, right? From the ecumenical council saying this, what would you say?
I'd say show me the others.
What do you mean show you the others?
Show me the other bishops. Show me what they say. Do they agree to it? Do they conform to it? Or is it just Rome?
This is literally going to be in an ecumenical council. And this Pope is going to be saying this.
Well, yeah, the Pope of Rome. Correct?
Yes.
Okay, so
and they just all the people in the East just agreed with it. They just sat there and just said, yeah.
I think I know what you're talking about. Can you show me?
There's hell. I don't know which one you like. I'm trying to figure out like what you're even trying to say.
When was the first affirmation that the Pope was the head of all the other churches for the Orthodox? When was the first affirmation? You're saying that there was a council where all of them just said, yep. Where was that? I hope you're not lying.
Brother, what are you asking me? I just need to know what you're asking.
How many times let me say it? All right. So there was the succession, right, to the Pope. You're saying it's Linus. Linus sat at a council, you're saying, correct?
No, I didn't say that.
You're saying that there was a you're saying that there was a Pope that said that he was the head of all the churches and that the Orthodox churches said, yep, to it, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, where?
All right. This is
like the Roman Catholics split off from the Orthodox. And
how did you even get that? I'm just trying to figure out where you even got that from. You just heard somebody say that.
No, it's because in Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2, they affirm the divinity of Christ, but they don't talk anything about the popes that you supposedly are saying are the head of all the.
Have you read any of these councils?
Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2. I didn't get to the Roman councils.
What is a Roman council?
For the Pope of Rome, councils in Rome. That would be a Roman council.
All right, do you know how many ecumenical councils there were?
7.
Okay, did you read anything about the other ones?
Which one are you quoting specifically saying that there was this affirmation bias?
There was hella. It's in multiple ones.
From what I've heard, and I don't want to be disrespectful. I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
You've heard it. That's my point. You haven't even looked into this stuff.
From what I've heard, there was a lot of precursor councils that disagreed with this prior to the Pope.
Have you read any of this stuff?
Tell me what to read.
All right, so
I want to read.
First of all, you should just start with reading the church fathers in general, right? Because I don't even know if you know how the councils are working. Good. I don't know what to tell you.
From what I've heard, that in Nicaea 1 and Nicaea 2, they were confirming the divinity of Christ, and they were dealing with crises afterwards.
No, Nicaea 2 ain't have nothing to do with that. I don't.
Yes, it did. What are you talking about?
Nicaea. Nicaea 2?
The Arian crisis with Nicene 2, yeah.
No. Nicaea 2 had nothing to do with that.
So you don't think that there was a revamp of the Nicene Creed specifically because of the Arian crisis?
You're talking about at Constantinople?
Yes.
That's not Nicaea 2. Nicaea 2 is something completely different.
Bro. I don't know if I think it was in Turkey, not Constantinople, or it might have been. I'm not sure. I forget exactly where it was geographically.
Both of those are in Turkey.
Okay, so it was Turkey. But yeah, they were dealing with the Arian crisis, so I don't know what you're talking about that it wasn't.
Nicaea 2 had to do with images, iconoclasm.
It did with that as well. They addressed that too. But Nicaea 1, Nicaea 2, why they did the Nicene Creed was to affirm the divinity, because the divinity was being talked about differently by Arius. Arius was saying that God, I think it was that Jesus was separate from the Father and that God created Jesus and he was a created being. And they said that was a heresy. And so that's why they had the Nicene Creed specifically to deal with that at Nicaea 1. And then at Nicaea 2, they expounded upon it. So it's okay if you misspoke or something, but they specifically dealt with that and iconoclasm.
I don't even know where this, because you have zero idea about any of this stuff. Like, you just heard stuff.
I don't. It's all disproved.
You didn't. You didn't disprove anything. Like, everybody who knows about this stuff, has zero idea what you're talking about, and they don't know where you got this from.
So
like, this is basic stuff.
So there was no Arian crisis with Nicaea 1 or Nicaea 2.
Those are so far apart that I don't know how you're saying an Arian crisis with Nicaea 2.
So you say no, you don't think that actually happened,
brother? Nicaea 2, bro.
Well, I'll say that
Nicaea 2 was literally over 400, brother. Nicaea 2 was almost over 400 years after Nicaea 1.
Pretty sure they were still dealing with the crisis, yeah. As in, there was a lot of people claiming that the divinity of Christ was separate from the Father at that time. Yeah, I think
people doing that doesn't mean that's what they were talking about. Nobody was arguing that.
Listen, I guess I could be wrong on this, okay? But I'm pretty sure that they were still dealing with that at the time.
They were dealing with it, but that had nothing to do with the council. Nobody was talking about that in the council.
I think they revamped the Nicene Creed.
That's in Constantinople. No, that is not Nicaea 2, bro. That's Constantinople.
All right. Well, I guess I kind of want to go back to my other question, but yeah, I'm not a theologian, man. I'm just trying to get into this stuff.
Yeah, but you're just believing everything Orthodox saying. You just haven't looked in anything. It just sounds like an Orthodox person told you, yeah, they broke off, and then you were like, oh yeah, Orthodoxy looks cool.
Reasoning too about the Pope of Rome self-declaring himself that he's the Pope over all the other.
Brother, these are Eastern Orthodox saints. Do you understand that? Saints in the Orthodox Church.
Doing what?
Saying this stuff.
Saying, yeah, can you show me? You're not showing me.
Okay, I'm gonna just.
You said there are 7 ecumenical councils. I said okay. But you're not saying at which ecumenical councils that they're affirming the Pope status, especially that he was over.
There's a letter, right? It's by a dude named Pope Agatho, right? He's a saint. All right.
You're saying Pope Aguilar?
Agatho.
Okay.
Yes. All right. He has a long ass letter, right? But you can read it, and there's gonna be specific parts that say stuff that's just absolutely crazy. And there's also a dude named Pope Saint Leo the Great. They have a whole bunch of different things, and they talk about. Maybe should I show you Pope Saint Leo?
You can. I'm watching.
All right, hold on. Let me see. I'm trying to figure out which one I want to show.
And yeah, I'm sorry, bro. I didn't mean to come across as disrespectful. But
it's not disrespectful. I'm just trying to figure. Like, every time I talk to somebody, I try and figure out like where their like knowledge is. Like, I don't know, like, because I gotta talk to different people differently.
Well, where I get hung up is that there was, like you said, in between like 400 years between Nicaea 1, Nicaea 2, but that predated the conversations about the Pope. And they didn't say anything about the Pope at these councils. And so I just, like, who was the head of the church then?
They said,
Peter wasn't alive.
all right, I'm gonna just show you something at a council, bro. And one of these dudes is very important at a council.
But I hope that addresses my question, because like I said, you're saying there was like 400 years without a pope that was head over the church.
No,
that
no,
nobody
no,
else
no,
conformed
no,
to.
no, bro. He's always been that dude. Like, sure, people disagreed, but like,
There was entirely different areas though. There was like Antioch.
I get it, but if you read what they say, Peter, just like he was the head of the apostles, and he was in charge of the entire world, because the Lord said, "Feed his sheep." The popes were that person. Undefiled and according to divine promise, which he owed the prince of the apostles.
It's okay if you can't find it, but you're saying
no. I'm trying to find the specific part where it's gonna show what I'm talking about.
Ecumenical council. I can probably.
If you just look up his letter, I'm just trying to figure out which part specifically I want to read.
Because you agree that there was major disagreement about the Pope later on, at least with Eastern Orthodox and Catholicism.
Bro, there was disagreement with the Filioque, all types of stuff. That's why they broke off. Well, they didn't. That's not really why they broke up, but like they have an issue where all their popes are saying something different than what they are, and they're still just, and well, all their saints in general are saying something different. So this is one thing where he's talking about his apostolic see, because he's the head of Rome. The Almighty God has never erred from the path of the apostolic tradition, nor has she been depraved by yielding to heretical innovations. But from the beginning, she has received the Christian faith from her founders, the princes of the apostles of Christ, and remains undefiled unto the end, according to the divine promise which the Lord himself gave the holy gospels to the prince of his disciples, Peter, etc. And when you have converted, strengthen your brethren, and let your tranquil clemency therefore consider, since it is the Lord and Savior of all, whose faith it is, that promises that Peter's faith should not fail, and exhorted him to strengthen his brothers, how it is known to all the apostolic pontiffs, the predecessors of my littleness, have always confidently done this very thing, of whom also our littleness, since I have received this ministry by divine designation, wishes to be the follower, although unequal to them and the least of all. So he's talking about his own predecessors, i.e. the people who are of Peter.
Okay.
These
doesn't list the predecessors though.
I mean, we can get the list. That's just like, it was just known who the list was, but this is from Peter, like all the way from Peter, and that his line is supposed to be the one that is supposed to keep this. Peter? No, this is from Pope Agatha, one of their saints.
I was gonna say, okay, yeah, but that, man, I keep on seeing, like, this sounds like circular reasoning. Like, there was no succession beforehand that was claiming that there was going to be these popes afterwards, and that there was going to be some redesignation taking place. I just don't like, who was the Pope of the year like 200? Like, after Peter died, who was the Pope? You're saying it's I think Linus.
Yeah, he wasn't in 200. He died before then. Let me see if I can find. It's gonna be in Against Heresies, book 3, and I think it's chapter. Might be chapter 3.
Okay, so I should read Irenaeus and the 7 ecumenical councils. That's what I'm getting out of this.
That's a lot of reading, bro. I'm trying to show you the specific parts. Who knows where he starts talking about the successors? He lists them, bro, in one of these books, bro. Hold on.
Is it okay if I ask you another question while you're looking at it?
Yeah.
All right. What are your thoughts about the recent? I don't know if it was a schism, but the separation between the that one group, the ultra traditionalist group, and the Pope recently. I think he said that they were schismatics or something.
Yeah, Pope got them up out of there.
Yeah. What are your thoughts about that recent event?
It was good. They need to be gone. You can't disagree or go against the head of the church in a way that's a schismatic act. So, and like what the church fathers will say is like you're supposed to stay in union with the chair of Rome, or else you're gonna be causing schism. Yo, is book 3, chapter 3? All right, bet.
Book 3, chapter what?
Of against heresies, hold on. Because every time I scroll, it goes right back to the bottom, so I have to keep scrolling. Book 3, chapter 3. Oh shoot, my bad. I didn't even scroll. I thought it ended here, bro. That's why I messed it. All right. So this is all the way till you said section 3? Am I just missing all the names?
I think I pulled it up.
All right,
The
here we go.
blessed apostles, then having founded and built up the church, committed into the hands of
Yeah, all
Linus,
right.
the office of the episcopate of this Linus. Paul makes mention into the epistles of Timothy. To him succeeded him. Okay, so now it's talking about the succession, and after him, in the third place, from the apostles Clement was allotted the. But this is just talking about Rome,
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
This man. So then, like I said, does this not come across as like circular reasoning?
This dude isn't the bishop of Rome. He's a bishop in France, and he's telling you that you have to submit to Rome.
The bishop of France.
Of Lyons.
So it's not-
It's Irenaeus of Lyons, and he's the disciple of John's disciple Polycarp. And he literally says, for it's a matter of necessity that every church should agree with this church on account of its preeminent authority or principal authority.
Okay. Well, I'll take a read over this. I guess I got one last question regarding the Pope, and that's with his, I think, infallible opinions or statements. Does the Pope have an infallible opinion versus a statement? Like, can he have an opinion on something and it be wrong?
Yeah.
Okay, and could he say something and it affect the entire church but still be wrong?
He can't bind the entire church to something, to incorrect doctrine.
You're saying it's impossible, or that
Yeah,
there's some
like
type
he
of...
can't.
Why is that?
It's something that God made it the case because, one, Peter, if you read what Luke chapter 22 says, like what Pope Agathos says, that he's going to strengthen your brethren all the way down to this day. And also Mark chapter 16, if the gates of hell will not prevail, having lies prevail as the true doctrine of the church is going to be incorrect.
I thought there was multiple popes at one point in history, though.
They were.
Like, wasn't there a point in European history where there was like 2 popes, and they waged war against each other? People died over it.
I mean, what would that have to do with anything?
Infallible opinions, and there being like 2 pope statuses at once. It just seems like it's not entirely correct. You're saying that
we
there's
know
no way
we
that-
know the actual apostolic succession, but they would just say that the other people were claiming to be popes, like the other 2, and it lasted for a while. But there was one line, and we had that same line.
Okay. All right.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you for your
God,
what you've shown me. I'll definitely read about the church fathers.
I don't know. I would prefer you just like watch a watch a video or something. I don't know, because like that's a lot to read.
Yeah, that seems to be the problem. Is that this stuff was like hundreds of years ago, and there's just papers and papers and papers, and there's disagreements, and then there's people who call each other heretics.
That's why I
And it's
just like study the Filioque way, honestly, because it's just easier to look at.
all right, I'll definitely do that.
It's less
I have
history.
one last question, I swear, and that's
Uh-huh.
it. All right, and it's going back to the very beginning of our conversation, because I usually claim that I'm a Christian to people, and they look at me and they have presuppositions about like me not accepting major parts of evolution, and I know that is a problem with a lot of Christians.
What you mean, major parts of evolution?
That we came from evolved creatures, like not specifically monkeys, but cavemen, and that those cavemen came from something that was a prior life form, like monkeys. And
I mean, some people believe in that.
It takes away with Adam and Eve. And so I don't know if you can answer this, but because you did say that your stance on this is that it just simply wasn't the case. But how do you contemplate with like fossil remains of cavemen, for example? You just said that they look similar, but there's seems to be the same exact genetics as early humans.
I mean, we have the same genetics as freaking bananas to a certain extent. Like, we have the same creator, so we would have the same genetics.
And you're saying that there was death before Adam and Eve too, and that's another thing.
I mean,
I thought there wasn't any death.
I mean, some fathers say something different. I go with that there wasn't any death, but some fathers say something
What do
different.
the popes say?
The Pope didn't make an infallible declaration on that.
Does he? So no pope had any statements on evolution?
I don't think so. I don't know.
Well, this is kind of at the heart of a lot of people who don't want to become Christian because they believe it goes against science. Whenever you start talking about Adam and Eve, they're like, well, how long ago was that? Like 5,000, 6,000 years ago or something? Even if it was 10,000 years ago, every other corner of the world is saying that they fossil date random things that's like millions of years old. So
I mean, you don't have to believe that the Earth is like 1,000 years old or however long they said. It's not required.
I truly don't, but it's sad that I have to kind of conform to the opinion a little bit that it might be just because I don't want to not be Christian.
That's not a view of the church, that you have to believe in young Earth creationism.
So the lineage that's coming out of Adam and Eve, they're claimed to be the first people on Earth, though.
Yeah.
And that there was a fall that stemmed from them, and prior to them, there was no death.
That's one interpretation, yeah.
You're saying that's an interpretation. I thought that's what it says, that there's no death before the fall.
Different people interpret that differently.
Do you mind if we go to Genesis?
I don't really feel like talking about that right now, bro. You already have so much to read.
It's a spearhead of a topic.
Yeah, but like it's not like a dogmatic belief, though. That's not gonna be either way.
Well, the give me a good reason not to be a Christian prompt, I would say scientism. The people who claim to be monkeys, the people who claim to say that the fossil record of the Earth is far greater than what Adam and Eve supposedly had through their genealogies.
I mean, the genealogies are not complete. They're incomplete. They're never put in the entire genealogies of things.
What do you mean by that? Because I thought it was complete.
Nah, they leave out names all the time. Just put random people in there. Well,
But it
not
wouldn't be
random, but
millions and millions of years, would it?
it could be, yeah. We don't even know how long they were in there for.
I heard that. I saw that before too. Like, how long were they in the Garden of Eden before the fall?
Yeah.
No one really knows.
Well, appreciate you for coming up. I got some other people.
Yeah, man.
All right.
Yeah, all right. Thank you, man.
All right. What's up, Eternal Fitness?
Hey, what up? It's me again.
What's good?
Man, that dude had 1,001 questions. I just hope to see you was planning.
I mean, I was just trying to figure out what he was asking. That was my main issue.
That makes two of us, bro. He was all over the place. But and the only thing I'm just low key mad, but for real, I just want him to come to Christ, right? So I'm at work. I got 30 minutes on lunch. I'm like, man, I really gotta ask Jordan these 2 questions. Hey, I'm just sitting there looking at my time, like, oh Lord, this dude is never gonna get on. Anyway, my questions are pretty simple. It's just two of them. I got 2 questions based on 2 arguments that I heard, and I just wanted some clarification on 2 points that I heard come up. So probably heard these points. There's some of the arguments that you and Elijah run. I'll do the first one real quick. When you're running the contingency argument or the argument from motion, I was over on, I want to say, an atheist panel. I was listening to Monkey Boy. Sometimes I like to listen to how they debate certain topics just to see how the
Listen, the Monkey Boy is crazy.
man. Listen, he basically just does this. I'm going to tell you how he defends against the contingency argument. When you bring a premise, he'll basically just say, "Well, I deny metaphysics." He'll ask you what kind of modality you're about to present the argument in, and then he'll tell you, "I deny metaphysical modalities." So I'm just sitting there like, "Wait, what?" So he kind of forces you to present your argument under a different modality where he basically feels more comfortable at, right? Does that kind of make sense?
I mean, he's just gonna like basically what him and a lot of other people are gonna do. They're just gonna find ways to try and get out of it. Just hold to like obscure
It's all
beliefs.
semantics.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
it's all
just
semantics.
gonna.
But my question is based on that denying the metaphysical modality. How do you make him adhere to a metaphysical modality, like to present it to that it's logical and it's something that we need to discuss, and you can't just deny it or refute, like just reject it.
I mean, he
Because
can.
how do
It's
you
just not gonna make like people that do that. They're just like contradictory. They're just living in a contradiction because they never follow that stuff.
I heard what you said to that guy who you were presenting the Deante argument to, and then he couldn't even to agree what an existence was.
No, it wasn't even that. He just tried to bring up random stuff that had nothing to do with anything to try and escape the argument.
Exactly.
So like,
It's like, oh, I'm a nominalist, and it's like it doesn't matter for this argument.
it doesn't. That's why I like this specific argument, because like it doesn't matter like what they think about that. If you can get them to admit something that's actually just, I mean, it's not that hard to explain that in contingent things the existence is not the same thing as its essence, then it's cooked. It's wrapped.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what I did hear them kind of get stumped on. I don't know if you heard this. This is my second question now. It's an argument from Brian Cullen. I guess it came out like around 2023 to 2025. It's something up and coming. It's called the psychophysical harmony. Have you heard of that?
No, I heard none of that.
Okay, so psychophysical harmony is basically the way consciousness reacts to the sensories in your brain and the way we verbally report things, pain, pleasures, the way our bodies and our consciousness reacts to it. And I'll give you a real quick, it's a 3 premise, and I'll just tell you, it says, psychophysical harmony is real, pervasive feature of the world. So that's premise 1. This harmony is extremely improbable under atheism or naturalism. Right? And then we can go into why. And then number 3, it is highly expected under theism. For instance, a rational good God would design laws enabling meaningful minds, agency and value. And then 4, therefore, psychophysical harmony is strong evidence for theism. And I guess the way that they argue is basically that whenever under naturalism or atheism, it would be highly improbable that your consciousness would align things in a way that's harmonic. I'm trying to say that word.
I mean, it almost sounds like another version of the
it's a fine tuning argument.
Yeah, another fine tuning argument.
Yeah, and basically they have nothing against it. Like they really can't. Because the way, like for instance, if you're a kid, if you turn on the stove, and your kid touches the stove, they feel pain. The mind reacts to pain, therefore you avoid pain. You know, and that's kind of like the standstill. If you do something good, your body is not aligns with benefit, so therefore you pursue it. And one would be in reaction to like theism, one is, you know, for survival. And they really can't explain how consciousness through evolution decided to put things in in a way that harmonizes everything together because of the probabilities that would fall under like mismatching. Like, oh, pain could feel good, so therefore your pain, now you run towards pain and therefore you die, like, you know, type of stuff, or unalive.
There's no good arguments for atheism, bro. It's just they try and find ways out of stuff, bro. It's like there's no good arguments for it at all.
No, yeah, I think atheism is just it's just kind of. I
It's
mean, I
just
love the argument.
it's just a matter of just finding a whole bunch of different ways to like try and like watch them run away from stuff.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that was it. I was just gonna say, if you can check it out, because I might have a couple questions on it. I just don't, I'm new to all this philosophy jargon, so I'm just kind of learning a couple things. And this one was quite interesting. It just kind of popped up, so I was trying to see if you guys heard about it.
Nah, I only look at like the classical arguments for God's existence because they're easier for people to understand. Although this Deente, I don't know, bro. People just I don't know if
Bro, you're
they.
cooking the DNA, bro. Like that's just a high level argument. Like that's just high level.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because I've never seen you actually get the full argument out as long as I've been watching. Like not with not one person.
It's just
You've actually-
ridiculous, bro. Like usually I use it with people that sound smart, so I'm like, all right, maybe they'll give me something that we can get through this.
Bro, listen.
And all the objections that I thought they would give, they just don't even give. Like they don't even get to it.
One day I was on Elijah's panel, and you, Abe, and Elijah were on that panel, and he had made. I guess he talked to you guys before you guys started live. He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna run the Diente today," and then every time it came down to it, like every caller had an argument for motion question, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm cooked. I guess I can't even run the Diente." So like the argument of motion is just like that, bro. I mean,
Yeah,
it's really
it's really just easy and it's just like intuitive, like, but people just don't like. They just
bro,
don't.
they hate. I've seen you guys pin people in the corners, and they're like, "Okay, I guess you're a theist now." And then now that you're a theist, we can talk about it. They're like, "No, no, no," and then they just have to circle back. All right, man, I'm at work, man. I appreciate it.
All right, bro. Nice seeing you again.
Yes,
All right.
sir.
Is Eli live yet, bro? If it's one thing I know about Jordan's live, we gonna get some constipated looking faces and dub vocal stems, mashallah. Oh. Hey man. I don't even how do I send people to another live? I completely forgot how to do that, John. Is he live? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. 30 minutes? Nah. Alright, it's cooked. We out. I mean, there ain't no way, bro. Yeah, I'm not waiting, bro. Bro, wasting my life, bro. I ain't even got that many people in here, no way, bro. You ain't gonna help none. Anyway, I'll see y'all later. Appreciate y'all for the super chats and all the whatever. How long it's been? It's probably been like 2 hours at least. 3.5 hours. Nah. Alright, yeah, this was a mistake. I did not know I was on here this long. That was a mistake. Alright. Our volume right in heaven, hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Thine is the kingdom, power, glory, the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, both now and forever, into ages and ages. Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou amongst women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners now and at the hour of death. Amen. May the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, the love of God, communion of the Holy Spirit be with us all in the name of the Father, Son, Holy Spirit, but now and forever into ages and ages. Man, I'll see y'all in Eli's live. He's probably not gonna let me up though, you know. He want to do things by himself. He didn't even tell us that he wanted to really do a review for real, and I'm not even sure I want to watch that. I ain't gonna lie to you. I don't know if I want to watch that junk. Junk's gonna be horrendous. I'm not trying to look at that junk again. You know it's bad when a whole bunch of Protestants are just coming to pause are saying, yo, I need to leave Protestantism because of these people. Like, amen. Thank God. But good gracious, it was horrendous. I don't want to see it more than once, but I already saw it. But yeah. That's why I didn't want to review it. That junk was horrendous, bro. I did not want to see that junk. It's just horrendous, bro. Freaking 2 crying babies arguing with each other. It was bad, bro. Absolutely horrendous. Yeah. It's a bad watch. But at least people are realizing that it was a bad watch, and then, you know, it is what it is. Alright, anyway, I'm about to go get something to eat. I'm glad France won. You know, my cousin Mbappe, he doing what he needs to do. And then our other cousin Dembele. You know how it is, bro. I just need them to win this chip. Send Messi home. You know, what can I say? Just ready. You know, he deserves it. He works hard, you know. You know, I watch him on the field and everything, you know, I'm like, yo, you know, keep doing what you're gonna do, you know. You're gonna get it eventually. But yeah, I'll see y'all later, bro. Holland is not taking it home, bro. I do not need that man to take nothing home, bro. Man, single-handedly carrying freaking Norway, bro. Just crazy. What is Dembele? What is he? Is he Muslim or what is he? Oh, don't worry. We'll talk to him. I'll get him on the phone. Don't worry. Don't worry. We'll get him. We'll get him right. I'll see y'all later.